never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for week number 4 of the ECAC Top 8 Plays of the Week. Now, at this point, you're probably realizing two things. One, that's right, I'm going to be with you all season long as we jump through the best moments of every week. And number 2, wow, Septilence really only wears one thing when he's not on the clock. And I can't even defend myself, it's a comfortable outfit. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into week number 4 and see what these players brought to the table to beat out their opponents and be victorious. Wake Forest was already up a game, there were 4 minutes left on the clock, and they just couldn't find that first point to take the lead and put them up 2-0 in the series. But in a final moment of success, Malone clears it from one coast to another and finds an open goal, giving Wake Forest the lead once again.
These Champ 3 and Champ 2 is doing. I mean, seriously, look at Malone making advantages for himself.
Wow.
And he will put Wake Forest on the map. This game number 5 could just go their way.
I just want to say Malone just said, I'm going to show you what a Champ 3 can do. All right, buddy?
On a control map in Overwatch, your team must capture 100% of a point to succeed. 99 just won't cut it. King Rock from Keene University was fully aware of that and didn't just find a Death Blossom. He found a full-blown Death Garden to keep his team alive.
Sound barrier to go away as well, especially now that you have your own. It's going to be a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't look like the Utica. Okay, there we are. Now it's coming up big. This Reaper has bloomed.
That was just gorgeous amount of patience coming.
GVSU Blue found themselves up by 5 rounds, and it's always better to turn that 5 into a 6. It's incredible, however, that this team doesn't always need all 5. It can come down to just one player and how much they can really GVS do.
An Illusion delivers with efficiency. 3 in a row. No time left, even if they had the chance at Orbital Strike out of the last.
This battle between Muskingum and St. Francis was insanely close. Only 3 players in a round, and there were 1 player left on both sides, both down to their final stock. Things were looking pretty strong for St. Francis, their Luigi only at 40%, but it was up to Splat to do anything but.
Just keep him off stage with that Zare. Oh,
If
bad spot right here for Teo.
If that block didn't disappear,
Oh,
no way.
Oh, just steps on the
Pressure plate.
A tale as old as time, Pace White versus Pace Gold, and Pace White's morale was through the roof as they won a fight, but little did they know, this was Lofi's world, and they wouldn't be living in it for much longer.
Going in with the blade.
Uh-oh, Blade is out. It's hacked. It doesn't matter, though. Slashes away for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Looking for 4. Won't get it just yet on the Blade. However, the slash and dash works out. Luffy's got 3. Looking for everybody else on this team. It's a White.
The Inkling versus Ganondorf matchup is not very good for Ganondorf, but let's be honest, which matchups are? In this clip, we're going to be watching as JD from Fisher learns the hard way that you never really want to meet an Inkling off stage.
Sooner if you don't find that kill confirm or that kill or a bomb off stage like that.
That bomb angle
is so good today.
Yeah, that bomb angle was beautiful.
Week 4 of ECAC Rocket League was absolutely insane. CMU and FC were tied up 0-0, but it was Gand who told FC they shall not pass game number 2.
Side of FC, they've only got 1 player for a moment there. They're trying to recollect, they're trying to reposition, but how do you position around a pinpoint accurate shot like this? Gand goes crossbar down for the first goal.
Adams in reverse, backed the defense off with that.
Whenever I'm on the mic for Valorant, you'll often hear the line, check your corners, repeated over and over and over again. And even with me not on the mic to tell them, I have a feeling this team may have learned that lesson.
Nah, he's got to take the shot.
Take it.
Oh yeah, just sounds of teammates running on through and come on, dive! The 4K on a completely unaware trio. And it's 11-0 right now.
And those are the top 8 moments we thought deserved just a little bit more time in the spotlight of week number 4 here at ECAC. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in what ECAC has going on, we got something happening nearly every day of the week. So check us out right here. Editor, that's a challenge for you. Wink, wink. And folks, this has been all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this, and we've got plenty of weeks down the line. Can't wait to see what comes of them.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I? Oh, should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis, and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down to the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're going to be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not going to tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game.
I believe in you.
Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
Not them.
Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay, alright. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try?
First try.
Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's
gonna
jumped into it.
Corner judges go for 1, 2, yeah, he needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Running.
Hello friends and happy Monday night. Hope you're all ready for some ECC Rocket League because it's week 3 and we have Utica and Farmingdale State University coming up in just a second. But first, I'm Mr. Bepic and I'm joined by Captain Atsoka in the booth. Cap, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing just fantastic, and all is well and all is swell, because here in New Orleans, it is officially Lundi Gras. So happy Lundi Gras to all of my carnival celebrating friends out there in the world, and have a safe holiday, and especially tomorrow, get ready for Mardi Gras. But other than that, we got some Rocket League action for you here at the Esports U, and I cannot wait to get that underway.
Oh yeah, we're all in the festive spirit in the green room, but now we're getting into the Rocket League spirit with some ECC action. Utica and Farmingdale State University. This is the B team for Farmingdale, but still a very good team nonetheless. Their only loss this season coming to the A team, so that doesn't really tell you a whole lot about that program, except that the A team is better than the B team, so we don't get too much in that regard.
Oh, absolutely, and honestly, we're going to have some two fantastic schools going into this one today. We're going to have Utica versus the FSC. So keep in mind, they are both currently 1-1, so whoever is able to take this game is going to put their team into the positive. So even though it's still a little early on, it doesn't feel like there's a lot on the line. There actually is, because it's going to set the tone of how you move forward in the season.
Exactly, and that's very important. It's the first half of the regular season isn't exactly crunch time for that postseason push, but it still is very important, like you said, for setting the tone, especially in these leagues that are fairly big, and so your opponents you may not have played before, and you have to scout on the fly. And if you can get wins against teams that you're not entirely prepared for, then you're in a very, very good spot going into the rest of the season. But getting over that 500 mark always feels good, no matter where you are, no matter who you've lost to already. And Utica and Farmingdale State looking to get over that spot when we do get started in a second.
Honestly, cannot wait to get this one underway. Remember, it is a best of 5, so it's not going to be easy come, easy go. You're actually going to have to be a little consistent in order to get the overall dub. But what am I saying that for? You know this. We all know this because we love Rocket League, and this is the format that we usually go to. But with that being said, I would like to see this one go all the way to a Game 5. But, I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to see Game 5, possibly overtime, if we've been good enough this season? But without further ado, let's get ready to get Game 1 underway. 5 minutes on the clock. You know what time it is. Mr. Bepic, bring us into Game 1.
All right, Utica in blue, Farmingdale State in orange. Away we go. We'll see which side gets that ever-so-coveted fast start as Fresinator has an extra touch, a shot on target. That's a nice ball off the face-off, but it doesn't lead to a goal just yet. Good block initially.
Absolutely. And now look at the midfield presence that we're seeing from FSC so far, being able to really come through with another midfield shot, but it will be denied by Soda. Meanwhile, Soda able to finally get this one out of their own territory and try and start some offense of their own.
Oh, Mexilado actually had an open shot. I don't think was ready for it, though, because the whole defense was grouped up, but kind of allowed an open lane towards net. So both sides kind of escaping a couple early scares. We'll see who settles in first, because this really feels like a frantic Game 1 for both sides right now. They're getting crazy transitions where it's 2-on-1s going the other way. There are misses abound on either side. No one's really comfortable just yet, but if we do find an early goal, I feel like whoever's scoring that settles in early and gets that early advantage.
Well, there you have it. There's the early advantage right there for Ty Dutt. 7-1-3-0 coming off of the wall and getting a fantastic read. But don't forget Thought Ranger 7 also got involved in that play and chalked up an assist as well, giving the 1-0 early lead to FSC.
It's a good start for FSC. They nearly conceded about 15 seconds ago, didn't let it phase them whatsoever, and then turned a nice counterattack into the opening score. Soda's trying to return fire now, but running out of boost, just forced to get physical with things on the goal line, and now Utica can set up their offense, though Swift missing out on that opportunity to keep the ball in play. Soda will be there at the midfield line, but now there's space to escape for FSC.
Yeah, it just seems like the pacing is really going the way of FSC right now. They are really good at intercepting a lot of the touches coming from the side of Utica. Even just then, we saw Fresinator really get up into the face of the aggression and try and knock the ball loose, and they're doing a really good job of disturbing the rotation, really making mishaps happen for the side of Utica, and they're using that to retake control.
Nice pop from Soda. There's no one in the air to really meet it, but realized the time that they had, so took all of it. But possession still on the side of Utica. They are keeping the ball in play with solid touches on the sidewall, keeping it out of the hands of FSC. No easy outs, though finally through the midfield we go, and a pass across. Thought Ranger couldn't get a hold of it, but still a good look nonetheless. And now that ball with some pace behind it, crossing through the Utica box. And once more, it's a short-lived offensive for Farmingdale State, and they'll have to retreat into defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are seeing several opportunities coming from both sides, but more so from FSC. They've had a couple, and I definitely like the aggression they're bringing, and you can see with the give and go coming from Fresinator over to Thought Ranger that they have the right thought in mind, but the execution is just going down and by the wayside. If they're able to tighten up these passes just a little bit more, they might be able to find the back of the net.
Oh, Fresinator, extra flip. Had a teammate center, but a little too much venom on that pass, so bullet dodge for Utica. Now they get out. Soda has an open net, but goes ahead of the ball, tried to clear that net even further, and didn't end up making contact. The shot was off regardless. Utica nearly finding the equalizer, but they get out without a score.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want that one back, and you know what? FSC might want that one back as well. You see how close we're getting time and time again. I don't know if it's the nerves, I don't know if it's the jitters, but whatever it is, it appears that right now both teams, when they have these open net opportunities, they're going numb in the thumbs. Well, guess what? It's time to turn things around, get points on the board, and start getting sick on the sticks.
This is a good chance. Mexalado is all alone in defense. Leaves it center, tied out to shoot, but space closed down upon. So, once again, FSC trying from the midfield line. No boost in the tank of Thought Ranger. Has to get creative with this one, but there's no teammate center to collect. Soda, long ball down the field, tied out a difficult read, but got up, made the block. And so, this 1-0 lead somehow withstanding the test of time. 1 minute left for Utica to get us level. Despite their best efforts, they have still yet to find the back of the net.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a lot of patience coming from FSC, because honestly, in any other circumstance, you would think that a team would panic with having these many touches going in towards your net. It's not like the side of Utica has a low shot count. They're currently sitting on 7. It's just the saves continually stacking up for the side of SAC, and then they take those saves and defensive plays, and they turn them into offensive plays. What a huge pass, give and go from Fascinator to Ty Dot.
Someone finally breaks the drought of goals that we were just in. It felt like no one wanted to score, but finally Ty Dot obliges and puts FSC up by 2. Utica now with double the amount of effort necessary to get themselves back in the end of this game 1. About 35 on the clock, and they need 2 when it's been 4.5 minutes without finding their first.
And now Ty Dot tried to go for another, but I really don't think they need it. 30 seconds left to go. They got a 2-0 lead, and they have been giving nothing to Utica thus far. So I think the fact that they managed to hold this game to a 1-0 standstill for a near 5 minutes, I don't see them being affected by another 10 seconds. The final few seconds are beginning to tick away here as this ball does go down towards the mid, followed by Thought Ranger. Now Mexalado, possible last-ditch effort to get a consolation goal, but no, FSC is going to end this one here and now, and they will win game number 1.
It was a solid showing from both sides. I think once Utica kind of warms up into this series and gets their shooting boots on, and they'll be in a much better spot, because 7 shots is not bad at all. It's the same number that FSC had. It was just Ty Dot with those 2 finishing touches that made the difference in that game. So as long as Utica's defense holds just as strong as they did in game 1, and their offense takes that next step in development in this series, then they're going to be just fine.
Absolutely, but you got to keep in mind, Ty Dot not only getting the job done on the offensive side of the ball, but they managed to get a savior medal as well. They were stacking up the saves, and thank you for my OCD, saves in perfect descending order. 3, 2, 1, coming from FSC in saves. Fantastic. 6 in total. Meanwhile, you got 4 from Utica. But also, with that being said, give your props where props is due. Fascinator, Thought Ranger, both getting assists on the board and both contributing to Ty Dot's 2 goals. So they are really passing the ball around, and they know that Ty Dot has been, doing pretty well. So they're going to continue to let them take shots, let them put shots on target, and then at the end of the day, it's going to lead to a winning game. So let's see if they can continue that momentum here in game number 2.
Absolutely, and Fascinator, definitely a player I'm looking out for with the mechanics that they flashed in game 1. That ceiling pass center was absolutely beautiful and just an inch behind the attempted shooter. And so plays like that I'm keeping a close eye on if they start to develop. If I am Utica in defense, challenge Fascinator if they get space in the air, and your life will be just a little bit easier. But so far, doing just fine in the challenge game, and now the transition out for Utica.
Yeah, and that was actually a great midfield presence coming from Mexalado in order to put that touch down and by the wayside. Now it is going to be Utica to try and take control of this midfield line. Mexalado again does get the touch, answered by Ty Dot, gets a save to clear it away, and now Soda trying to take control, does get past 1, gets past 2, looking for a shot on, and it will be denied.
There's Ty Dot again, making a difficult save, jumping up from ground to crossbar in a matter of half a second to make a tough block on a hard shot. And Ty Dot, with that saving medal, like you pointed out at the end of game 1 at Soka, already doing work on the back line here, and in transition had a shooting opportunity, if not for Swift, clogging up that passing lane.
Yeah, but hold the phone. Here comes another shot on Soda. There to get that one and stop it in its tracks. That could have been the go-ahead early goal for FSC, and now back towards the mid we go. Ooh. And the ball finally goes back into FSC territory, giving Utica a little breathing room.
Follow-up good as well. Mexalado The second player up in offense for Utica, and we'll get some possession back on the Utica side. They can add some more to their possession clock stat category, but Thought Ranger has plenty of space for a bang down the field, and once again, FSC going to escape, take a shot, but Fessinator just a little bit wide there. It was a great opportunity, just couldn't quite hit the mark.
Now, you see, Mr. Bepic, I don't know about you, but this game is looking a wee bit too friendly to me. I have not seen any physical play, no bumps, no demos, and honestly, I think that's why we're still scoreless. 2 buttery bagels on the board is because they're being polite. They're allowing the opposition to amount save after save. It's time to get a little mean, start bumping them out of the net and creating open net opportunities.
Well, that net wasn't open because lack of physicality, like Itsoka wants. You want the bully ball out of both sides. You just blow each other up as much as possible. And you're right, I don't think I've seen a demo yet. And both defenses holding strong, so some aggression may be due here, though. Let's dive in aggression. It's not physicality aggression. There we go. Thank you, Soda. Blowing up tied up there in the midfield, but Utica can't collect. Instead, Thought Ranger does a great job of buying time and making sure FSC doesn't have to play defense, instead finding Fessinator center. But again, that back line holding strong for Utica.
And that was a fantastic pass, too, but it was an even better read from the defense of Utica in order to break that one up, and that's what they have been doing successfully. Unlike in game number 1, there were 2 pass plays that came from FSC, and they weren't denied. They both found the back of the net, so now they're starting to get up a little bit more earlier, trying to deny and intercept these passes before they can be turned into goals.
Another explosion in the midfield opens up some space for Fessinator, and that ball errantly placed center. Swift would have been kicking themselves had there been someone there to shoot the ball for FSC. Instead, we go back to fighting for possessions. Volleyball instead of Rocket League at the moment. But that's a hard hit volleyball. Swift back in time. And that transition defense saving both sides now.
There you go! Let's go, Ty Dot! Not showing bias to one side or the other, but finally, this is how you create an opportunity. Ty Dot literally headhunting not 1 but 2 defenders, creating an open opportunity for Thought Ranger to have an easy go-ahead goal, and now just like that, FSC has a 1-0 lead.
It's criminal that Ty Dot doesn't get credit for that on the stat line or on the scoreboard, because Thought Ranger got the assist, Fessinator the goal, and there's no credit given to Ty Dot except for on stream, which is a little sad, but that's why we have these broadcasts, to give credit to the players doing off-the-ball work that doesn't show up on the scoreboard. So kudos Ty Dot, it's another 1-goal lead for FSC, and they were able to maintain it for a while before adding a second in. This could be just that, though Swift grabs boost, grabs ball, gets a little physical too, though ball leaks center. Fessinator sends that ball again a little wide.
Yeah, Mr. Bepic, I'm glad you mentioned it. At Psionics, add a bump stat to the scoreboard. Fun fact for anybody interested in a little history lesson, back in the days of Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cards, there was a demo stat count and an achievement that you can have for getting bumps and demos. But we don't see any of that here. Still the 1-0 lead in favor of FSC.
At the very least, we do have the Exterminator medal. If you get 7 demos, I think it is, in one game. But hold that thought. Soda just had a great look at nets, but the pesky crossbar gets in the way, and then Fessinator, pesky on the goal line for FSC. We were talking Exterminator, but this FSC squad can't seem to exterminate Utica. They're just pesky, hovering around the heads of FSC, waiting for their golden opportunity to tie us up, maybe take us into some overtime.
Well, here we go. This could be their last-ditch effort here as the clock will officially expire. And now Soda with a huge opportunity, but Ty Dot able to get the touch to clear it away, and that will just about do it here in game number 2. Winner going to be FSC.
Again, it's not comfortable, though. Utica is hanging around. They just can't find the back of the net. And again, 8 shots to FSC's 4. Utica found double the amount of opportunities of their opponent and still couldn't put the ball in. That finishing touch is where their struggles lie right now, when they have to figure it out in game 3 to get that reverse sweep journey going.
I'm trying to do the meme right now where it's just like, yeah, look at the save count. It's 8 saves coming from FSC, and they only have 1 goal. That is absolutely insane.
Wow.
Meanwhile, look at the shot count. 4 shots from FSC, and then you got 8 coming from Utica. There is no reason Utica should have fell in that game. They should have had it, but they allowed the saves to be made. Now you see the evidence, you see the numbers, you have got to start bumping them out of net, because if you let them just set up their campfire in there, they will stay there all day and pad the stats and get as many saves as you allow them to.
Right, if you can't score on a contested net, make it uncontested and get that bully ball in order like you were talking about. Explosions is what we want to see on DFH. Make the janitor work overtime here in Game 3. It seems to be what the change has to be, but you have to do it smartly. Utica has to pick their moments to get those demos in the back line. Can't overextend, though, because a couple of times now, FSC has looked solid in transition and found a couple of opportunities there.
Well, here we go. This could be their last chance. Game number 3, and a breakaway shot on the kickoff will get the first goal of Game 3 going the way of Utica.
All that effort, all those shots, and it's a kickoff that ends up being the way through for Utica. Whatever works. I mean, they've got themselves a lead for the first time in this series, so now we get to see how Utica plays when they are in front, and how FSC plays when they're playing from a deficit, and that can change the dynamic of a series. We could see now FSC foundation start to crumble just a little bit, but this is a great opportunity to find an equalizer. That net's open. Oh no.
Yeah. It's wide open, but the shot will finally find the back of the net from Ty Dot. Being able to get this read. Thoughtinator had the right idea, but it was just a little wide. That's all right. Ty Dot will clean that up for you.
That's why it's a team game. These players have each other's backs to make sure that slight mistakes like that don't mean too much. I love that. The camaraderie on the side of FSC, and the demo from Swift. Love that too. The flick just touched by Thought Ranger to get FSC out of dodge and in position to score a second. Ty Dot again off the back wall on target, but Mexalato back in time there to make the save and get Utica out of dodge.
Yeah, now they're trying to add up the shot count here, taking a lot more shots than what they were in Game 2. I couldn't help but notice that FSC are starting to add a little bit of pepper, a little bit more pep to their step. As once again, they're taking control at the midfield, looking to put yet another shot on target. Through the mid it goes, but it will be denied until Frustrator comes through to try and find what looked to be a pass, but no one was there to receive it.
Ty Dot's going to stick with it themselves, and Mexalato the same. I love that play. In the midfield, works at center to Swift. The shot just off the double is good. Swift careens into the ball and puts it home off the glass. What a play.
There we go. Now it seems like Utica is starting to wake up a little bit. That's the kind of touches you need and the heads-up reactions you need to have, especially when you're going up against this FSC squad. Make sure you patrol the midfield, get the touches out to mid, and then make sure you confirm goals. Well done to get the second goal for Utica.
Utica find their way back. Once the floodgates open, they open. In a minute and 20 seconds into this game, Utica have themselves 2 goals after going about 10 without scoring 1. But Fascinator could take it all the way with a good transition here. Just so to left to beat Fascinator. One extra touch, and it works as a pass to Thought Ranger, who nails the shot. If again, not for Swift. Ty Dot with the rebound. Blocked by Swift again. Great pair of saves.
I was about to say, how did they not get credit for that last save? It was definitely a save, but, you know, the feed was just like, nah, we're not going to give it to him. Very mean.
Lazy.
Very mean of the feed to not give credit where credit is due.
Those save points are alongside the points you get for demos in this game. It's a little sad. But, you know, the game win is what you're playing for here. Not exactly points, and Soda can help seal it. 3-1 now. There's still 3 minutes left to play, but Utica on fire.
Yeah, they're answering back in a major way, and I got to tell you, that double commit did not help FSC at all, and it really just led a huge opportunity for the side of Utica to find the back of the net, and who else but Soda to take advantage of that opportunity. Now they have a 2-goal cushion over FSC.
Now we see what the comeback potential is like for FSC. What can they do? Down 2 goals. They can go for some bumps. They can find a demo. Thought Ranger's shot blocked. And again, the rebound from Ty Dot just not quite there. How many times have we seen that this game, where FSC opens up a lane towards net, and then somehow, some way, the Utica defense stops it and gets themselves out of danger?
Yeah, they got to put a little more heat on the ball when you're taking those shots. You get the soft touch like that, you're going to give them all day to get back to the net, but still, those are some fantastic saves coming from Utica. When you think that goal is all but scored, they come to yank it right on out, literally stealing goals away from FSC.
Soda sends this long down the field. Fascinator is home. He'll find the save and takes out Swift while they're at it. That's a big ball down the field. Soda in an awkward spot, but again, teammates having each other's back. Swift right there to try and put it over the midfield line, but Ty is hanging around, just hunting a moment for FSC. They need at least 2 in the next 105 seconds, lest we do go to game 4.
Well, they still got plenty of time to get the job done. 1:40 remaining to get 2 goals, and we have seen a lot more done with a lot less. So it's going to be Fressinator now to get the touch. Puts it back over to Thought Ranger, but it gets dunked by Swift, and Ty is there to get the save and put this one back to the midfield. Meanwhile, Soda to Swift, not going to be on target.
Fressinator, a little work to do. Mexalato knew exactly where that ball was going. Big brain play there off the sidewall. Reads Fressinator like a book and puts home a 4th goal for Utica.
Well, there you go. That ball got all the way around that time. Went from Soda to Swift back to Mexalato, getting all 3 players involved in 1 goal. That's the way you want to get the job done. Meanwhile, you can see FSC still trying to find the back of the net and nearly put in by their own teammate. Soda luckily was able to get that one out.
A little sketchy, but, you know, whatever works. Soda knew exactly what they were doing with the ball right there to keep FSC at bay and burn a little clock while they were at it. FSC still hunting. They've had a plethora of decent chances, just can't put it in. This one, the same. Ty a lot of real estate there on that back wall, just can't put that final finishing touch on the ball and score a goal.
Yeah, and you can see now only 40 seconds remaining here, and Ty and company still trying to find the back of the net. They tried to get the tactical whiff on target, but Mexalato was able to read that one. Soda now will get the touch and the follow-up flick, but it will be no good. And meanwhile, just 30 seconds to go. You can see FSC are going to have to score 1 goal every 10 seconds.
And not if Soda has anything to say about it. That's a nice clear and another nice read there off the side wall, and that'll burn enough clock unless we see something magical here in this counterattack. And no, Swift is right there to shut down FSC's hopes of taking game 3 and closing this out in a sweep instead. Game 4 inbound soon, and 3 seconds left, 2 goals. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, unless we see some magical stuff, well, I hate to break it to you, this is not Hogwarts Legacy, this is Rocket League. You're not going to be seeing any magic from that remaining 3 seconds. It's a GG's going the way of Utica here in Game 3. They keep themselves alive. Well, let's see what can happen with just these final few seconds ticking away off the clock. Time officially expired, Utica officially wins, and that is just going to do things here for Game 3.
I like it. No extracurriculars there at the end. It was all business at the end of Game 3. FSC wants to get in the next game, and Utica perfectly fine with that. But look here. FSC with 12 shots this game. Utica saving 8 of those. It's a complete reversal of the last game, where FSC ended up winning despite being outshot by double what Utica put up. And then here, Utica with the lower shot totals, and we see them winning by 2.
Yeah, and honestly, if you was to look up the average speed of every shot taken by FSC, it would be safe enough to make it through a school zone. They were not putting any pepper on those shots at all, which led to a lot of saves coming from Utica, who, by the way, had fantastic positioning, they had fantastic rotation, and their recoveries were top-notch. Utica were definitely the defensive powerhouse there in game number 3, and if they bring that type of energy back into game 4, we very well could see a game 5.
It's a good first step on their reverse sweep journey, and we'll have to see what the rest of the journey holds in Game 4, as now they have to do it again, and then again, if they want to take this series and improve to that 2-1 record that's coveted at the end of Week 3, and that is if you dropped a game or a series in Weeks 1 and 2, because you'd rather be undefeated right now, but it's not an option for either of these two teams, so they're trying to get that second win, get above the hump, and starts here in DFH Stadium. Game 4 getting started. 5 minutes on the clock, scoreboards reset. We'll see if Utica can replicate what they just did to FSC.
Well, here we go. Swift off to the right. Start here, looking to go off the backboard, but it does get knocked away. Ty now back to the midfield line. Is able to get a 50-50. That sends this one to the other side. Here comes Fressinator. Able to get a touch, but it goes the wrong way, and now Utica will take possession.
And Swift with a shot on. It's easily saved by Ty-Dot, but with a secondary effort. It's right there, same player. Ty-Dot out, and they've switched from a Pink Octane to the Carmine Corp Fennec. for Game 4. So, I mean, cards don't always tell you everything about how players are going to perform, but it tells you about their mentality at the moment. And Tidot was not happy with their performance in the last game, so switching cards for this, and we saw it work out for Swift, who switched from the Fennec to the Octane before Game 3 when they came out and was a game changer in that one. So, interesting small notes here in this series.
Oh yeah, there are many proverbs in the world of Rocket League, and one of them is that all roads lead back to Octane, but we will see here as Mexalato is able to come through with a huge save for Utica, and now we'll continue to hold on to this 0-0 scoreline as we are beyond a minute here, and now Tidot has a huge opportunity, but it will be batted away. Soda comes through to save the day.
Yeah, speaking of cars and car choices, are we sure that this Utica defense is using regulation-sized cars? Because it feels like they are getting on top of everything on their goal line. They must be using double the size Octanes and Fenix out there, because these are some incredible saves.
Oh, you're telling me? I feel like they got tennis racket toppers on right now, the way they're batting these balls away from the back of the net. Meanwhile, Fressinator tries to bring the baseball bat topper to the goal, but it will be denied yet again. Now Mexalato does get the touch to clear this out to the corner, but they're going to get demoed for their effort. Straight to the Shadow Realm. Don't pass go. Don't collect 200. Just go to the junkie.
Well, Mexalato's back, and they're already making a difference on the back wall. It's half clear there. Thought Ranger shuts it down as soon as it reached that midfield line. And again, Fressinator did the same thing, popping it towards net, going to follow it themselves, but two defenders up in those large cars, finding big blocks, not allowing too many opportunities. Tidot, though, instead of shooting, setting up for a teammate, and no one makes contact right there. Weird stuff in the Utica box, but the defense prevails.
Yep, that it does. And look at this. We're nearly at halftime here, and it's literally going to be a 0-0 scoreline after a half of regulation. Now only 2 minutes and 25 left to go, and neither team able to find the back of the net just yet, but Thought Ranger is going to try and get the ball rolling here for the side of SSC.
Mexalato, another save to add to their growing tally. Soda can't find the clear through Tidot. Mexalato the same. Swift, last player back, and they'll do well to, again, get the defense out of danger. It's the name of the game for Utica. They seem comfortable playing long stints of defense, just waiting for that one moment to get the ball clear and then set up for an offensive a little bit later down the road. It's not immediate transitions out. They're biding their time and content to play right now with few opportunities in offense.
Yeah, and what we're seeing from FSC right now is a problem that we see a lot even at the pro level. You know, they start trying to get these long banging clears, and at the end of the day, they really just give away possession to the opposition. You have got to start taking a little bit more control at the midfield and making more short, calculated, quick passes. Otherwise, the opposition, in this case Utica, is going to read it all day and take advantage as another shot will go on and it will go in. Utica will get the first goal on the board here in Game 4.
That's some awkward defense. Fressinator had to decide if they wanted to go for the in and out or the just stop and turn around save, the three-pointer, and unfortunately got caught in between both, and Swift is happy to collect, and that's what I'm talking about. Utica waits for their one moment, really. They've got 3 shots this game, which isn't a whole lot compared to the last, and they waited for that one perfect opportunity, and they slam it home, and now have a lead again.
And now you can see once again, it's going to be FSC working for a deficit, and honestly, the last time they were in this situation, it did not bode well. So, with just a minute left to go, they're going to have to try and find an answer to equalize here, possibly send us into OTs. Fressinator will now go up high, does get the shot, it comes off of Mexalato, but luckily, they had some defense there in their back pocket to make sure that one didn't go in.
I would like to see this FSC team play with a little bit more of their mechanics. Like, take the ball slowly off sidewalls, take it from positions on the ground, just pop it way up into the air, and see if they can outmaneuver their opponents in the aerospace. Because Tidot and Fressinator have impressed me with the flashes of mechanics that they've shown me throughout this series, and it doesn't feel like they're using it. They're just trying to bang the ball off the sidewall or put it center, but everything's getting clogged up on those in the Utica box. And one way to break that open is, yes, demos, but also flip resets and things of that sort.
Well, only 10 seconds left to go and time ticking away here on FSC for Game 4. Meanwhile, the final few seconds are beginning to dwindle. This could be the last-ditch effort. Ty-Dot goes up high, looks to get the touch, but Swift is there to deny. That is going to be game number 4, going the way of Utica and Mr. Bepic. We are headed to game 5.
How about that? The players finally oblige a caster's request for a game 5. You don't see that too often, and Utica did it off the back of phenomenal defense. 6 saves on 6 shots. Again, putting up a brick wall on their goal line. Only need 3 shots to take this game. Another instance where the winning team shoots fewer times.
And you know what? That's the type of play style that I honestly go to. I enjoy it. I do have fun playing the defensive end, but it's not necessarily something that you can really rely on. You have got to start also trying to do a little bit more on offense, because as soon as FSC begins to find a way around that defense, they're going to, lay on those shots. They already have 6. And if they can find a way around your defense, they're just going to put 6 of those into the back of the net. So you've got to be careful not to spend too much time in your own half.
Yeah, that's fair, but at this point, it's 2 games now where Utica's been able to refrain from allowing anything to FSC, anything more than what they're outputting in offense. I mean, like, they're soaking up a lot of pressure, and they're finding a lot of saves off the back of it. At this point, it feels like FSC's thrown Utica 3 balls in baseball, and now we're on the 4th pitch. Utica's just going to take it. Keep playing that same style of Rocket League that they have been engaged in for the last 2 games, because it's been working.
Well, let's see if it will continue to work as we get ready to head into game number 5. This is it. We're on Champions Field. Let's get 5 minutes on the clock and find out once and for all who is going to be taking the dub here today.
Well, Fressinator, with a little bit of space to work with, but again, can't do much in the way of productivity with it. And now in transition, Utica might get that golden opportunity a little sooner. Up goes Soda, and down goes the deficit for FSC. Utica will go up 1.
Yeah, this does not look like a good start for FSC, but it looks amazing for Soda, who was able to get the up and over the FSC defense in order to get to the back of the net. And now they have that 1-goal lead very early here, only 13 seconds off the clock. And now Soda looks to get 2, and there you go. It is now 2-0 in favor of Utica.
And now Utica really can turtle up in defense and soak up all that pressure again, because they've got themselves a 2-goal cushion in the first 16 seconds. We are watching FSC nightmares unfold live on Twitch in real time, because Utica have not really done too much in the way of get themselves offensive chances. Just really 1, and then off kickoff their 2nd. And FSC have to find an answer soon, because they have been not so happy in the offensive end for a long while now.
And well, you can see the defense still holding strong here for Utica. Meanwhile, the follow-up shot will once again be denied, and Mexalato now has a breakaway opportunity. Not sure if they have a lot of boost to work with here. Goes off the side, puts it to the mid, but Thought Ranger is there to put that one right back down.
Now Ty-Dot can clear, beats Swift. Thought Ranger couldn't quite get to the ball, and so Fressinator called into action. A second touch will pop the ball out center. Thought Ranger in for the shot. It's slow and saved by Swift. In comes Ty-Dot. Free space in the air, and finally, FSC break their silence with a roar. 2-1.
Yeah, Ty-Dot here with great shot placement. This was the only place they really could have put it. A kiss right off the crossbar. Other than that, it's probably going to get saved and cleared away. So great on Ty-Dot in order to confirm that first goal for FSC here in Game 5. And now that 2-goal cushion for Utica is officially gone.
What will Swift do about it? Just a soft touch center, and Fressinator allowed to shoot, though. Hasn't been too big an issue for Utica to deal with. Another big save by Soda. Thought Ranger, the deft touch, but instead it leaves Fressinator in the 1v2. Though Soda's shot goes a little wide there, but that means possession for Utica as they hold on in the corner. They'll try again.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but that was actually huge. Being able to boost starve the entire team of FSC just now. Literally, it was Utica that ate up all the corner boosts there. And finally, you can see Fressinator does get a full tank and is able to put the ball right back into the half of Utica, but not before the return volley follows through for Utica. Now another shot on that will be saved and cleared away by Ty-Dot.
Oh, Ty-Dot has some space here in transition and 2 teammates to work with, but loses control at the last second. That ball slips off the hood, and that'll take out their frustration on Swift, but are taken out themselves. So a fast rotation back for Ty-Dot, who now sits in the net to defend against Mexalato, who goes high, but that means the ball isn't in a spot to shoot for Swift, and we will slow down now in the FSC corner. Soda breaks it wide open, though, with a ball on target. Fortunately for FSC, Tidot was home.
And here we are, halftime. 2 minutes and 30 officially gone here in regulation, and only 2:25 remain. And we see FSC still down 1 and still looking to equalize. Meanwhile, that shot looked good, but it barely nicks the corner. And FSC constantly being strangle-held into their own half.
Double commit, not going to help their efforts of breaking out of that stranglehold. And, well, Thought Ranger, we'll get them out of dodge, so that's nicely done, and almost capped off with an equalizer. Tidot using some pinball strategies to put that ball home. Don't know how it worked, but we're tied.
Well, let's take a look. Tidot able to put this one down. It's on target, hits off the sidebar, and then hits off a Soda. I mean, that one necessarily shouldn't have gone in, but it does say in Rocket League Proverbs that we take those.
Yes, we do, especially when it gets us a very entertaining end of Game 5. Oh, the lead right back in Utica's back pocket. Swift off kickoff, scoring the third.
Yeah, Swift showing them how it's done right here, making sure that they find the back of the net. They don't need any extra help. They're going to put that one right in front of the sidebar and give Utica once again that 1-goal lead.
That is an important 1-goal lead because the pressure starts to build as we get deeper and deeper into this final game of the series. Again, a second win on the season awaiting whoever can end this game with more goals. And right now, Utica in the best spot for that. But 2 miss, and Tidot playing janitor in the blue box cleans up to tie us up.
Yeah, unfortunately, those whiffs were not too tactical. That left an open opportunity for Tidot to once again find the back of the net and tie us back up at 3 apiece. Only 1 minute and 44 left to go. And if this continues to go the way it has been, we may just see that Game 5 overtime.
I hope you are all entertained. A shootout in Game 5 is my favorite type of Game 5. Goal after goal. Still good plays being made on both sides. Just productivity on both ends. Keeps things spicy. 90 seconds left. Tidot looking at a little more spice to the recipe of this Game 5. Though loses control as the defense gets in the way. Thought Ranger in and straight down for the score. FSC in the lead.
Yeah, and you got to look at this. Frestinator there being able to get involved and really force that touch to go up high, putting it right towards the mid. Just a fantastic pass and a good cleanup there coming from Thought Ranger to get the go-ahead goal and the lead for FSC.
Feels good for Thought Ranger because so many times has the ball been popped up in the mid like that, and Thought Ranger hasn't been able to get a hold of everything, and that leads to saves. But right there, in the instance where their team needed that kind of ball the most, get it to go, and now Tidot can just expand on that thought even further, but Soda is in the way. Utica, they're finding saves right now, but they need transitions. They need a goal at the very least to get us to OT.
And that shot looked good. You know, I like the mindset, trying to go for the Phillip flip reset, meanwhile trying to also get the read off the backboard. It was a tough shot, but it definitely would have been a game changer for sure. Meanwhile, Soda will take control here, trying to find a highlight reel shot of their own in order to equalize, as they are still down 1 with only mere seconds remaining here in Game 5.
A nice pass. Frestinator couldn't do much with where that ball was, so instead, using the teammate utility. Pass center. Thought Ranger will add the lead to 2 for FSC, and that is a big, big counterattack for Farmingdale State.
And that was a huge pass coming out of the corner from Tidot, really being able to take their time, ice in the veins, no panic at all, and was able to get that pass out to the mid, and that was just a fantastic showing from start to finish, and now that 2-goal cushion will be going the way of FSC.
Chance to cut it down to 1. Mexalato has their shot saved. That missile stomached by Thought Ranger. Right back to it, though. Swift popping the ball up, and Tidot over it, trying to smother any chances of a comeback here for Utica and smother the reverse sweep hopes of their opponent. That'll seal it. Frestinator making sure Farmingdale State will not drop 3 straight, and they get the 2 wins on the season.
Yep, that they do, and a well-deserved win. They were a little shaky there looking for games number 3 and 4, but they finally put their head right on for Game 5, and they were able to take away the win the last few seconds, and there it is. It will be the game and the series for FSC.
What's crazy is that that was the first game where the winning team had more shots than the losing team. FSC finally broke that pattern and broke the, unfortunate for them, pattern of losing 2 straight in Game 5. It was shaky for them, but they do get out alive.
Yep, that they do, and a well-deserved GG for FSC, and of course Utica as well. They definitely made it a challenge. I know they made FSC sweat in the process, but at the end of the day, it's FSC that managed to come away with the win, and we are getting ready to take a short break, because when we come back, we're going to have an interview with one of the players from FSC to talk about their big win, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place?
Certainly not last.
What about, like, 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player? Yeah. How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4? No. Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow, I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah. It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your KD?
We're looking at 10-6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
You know, it could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well, you know.
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my God, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U. Clutchkey here to help you bring those 5 plays, and we got one from each game lined up. Let's start with play number 5, and this one takes us to Rocket League, where the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech and the SUNY Poly Wildcats squaring off. But for the Bulldogs, they show us why the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work, with insane passes and a goal to end it.
The options have to go and recover defensively because that's a big long clear. And, well, the long clear can either catalyze an offense or bring into situations like this. Jazz leaps up for the shot, knocks it home.
Now, the Wildcats were able to take a game off the Bulldogs, but in the end, Louisiana Tech would go on to win the series 4-1. Coming in at number 4 is from League of Legends, and it's the Army West Point Black Knights and the Lethbridge College Kodiaks playing in a USA versus Canada game on the Rift. But down 2 people mid-game, it was looking kind of like the Black Knights had a challenging fight coming up in top lane. But then again, the Army isn't called tough for nothing.
2v4, by the way. Now a 3v1 into another 3v1. This is Army West Point just doing the duty list, right? That is almost a full ace. Yeah, the minions will help him out. That is an ace.
Now that was in game number 1, and Army West Point would go on to win the entire series 2-0. Let's go to number 3 now in Overwatch 2 action, where the Great Danes of Albany and the Bulls of South Florida squaring off. First map on Oasis, and things started to look good for South Florida to flip the point. Unfortunately for them, one player was hitting shots, and one player was showing why Doomfist has Doom in his name. Getting 2 picks, although that comes out right back. Bob is out of the fort. Ski gets 2. Ski gets 2. This is just an annihilating fracture here from Ski. It's unbelievable. The fight continues on, and it looks like it's going to be a fight win here for Albany. Albany would go ahead and take that game and take on the sweep as they would defeat South Florida 3-0. 2 spots left on the countdown, and coming in at number 2 is Super Smash Bros. Sauce from the Fisher Falcons taking on Neo Joe from the St. Thomas Aquinas Spartans. It's Mario taking on the Pokemon trainer with the Squirtle out, but don't let Sauce start cooking or they could lay the smackdown on you.
Sauce, there's a couple of Mario players kind of making waves right now, but it's about what Sauce is doing right now to Neo Joe. He's tossing him up. Oh my mercy, what a forward air.
Fisher would go ahead and take that fight, take that win, and take the series 2-0. And the number 1 play belonging to Valorant. The Demon Deacons of Wake Forest have a 1-0 lead up on the Bryan Bulldogs, heading to Icebox. But Wake Forest down 6-4. Spike planted on B, and it's a 1v3 situation favoring the Bulldogs. Luckily for the Demon Deacons, this is one of the rounds that Conrad decided to play the hero.
Are they just going to lead this? Are they playing for Hunter's Fury potentially? They are. And there's the shot from Aimbot, though. This is going to be extremely dangerous. He's going to be able to find him. Does he have time?
Now that match would go on to map number 3, and Conrad would also get an ace on that last map, but it wasn't enough as Brian would win the series 2-1.
They're going to have just a little bit more than that, a second and a half, I think.
And that's it for the top 5 of the week from Esports U. We'll see you back out there for even more games. And until next time, this is Clutchkey from Esports U signing off.
And there's so many other jobs as well that can translate out of this experience in esports. The only path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And us, as well as all of our brand partners that we work with, really recognize this. And I think that's really, a key driver of why
Welcome back to ECC Rocket League, presented by Esports U. We've got one of the members of the winning team of Farmingdale State with us, Thought Ranger. It was a close series. It went all 5, but you got the dub. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm actually feeling pretty excited, just getting that hype up through it was a close game. So, getting that final goal, just, pretty good, I'd say.
All right.
Yeah, and just to kind of start things off, I got to ask you, things were getting a little shaky there. It looked as though you were going to get the sweep, and then all of a sudden, hold the phone, a reverse sweep start to appear, kind of, for Utica, but y'all managed to come together at the end. I got to ask, what was that like, being able to really come through in that Game 5 and confirm your win?
Well, yeah, of course, we had to make it interesting for the stream, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, having that, having the other team come back, it definitely, shivered my timbers, the communication had to, get bumped up a notch and had to re-strategize, get used to the other team's tactics, that sort of thing. You know how it is. And we were able to pull through right in that last 5th game and sealed the deal.
All right, now speaking of these games, I got to ask, because it seemed a little unorthodox to say the least, because a lot of the times when we watch Collegiate Rocket League, it's all shots, all gas, no breaks, all aggression, and all offense, but it appeared to be that this particular series was all defense. I got to ask, what influenced that to really start playing a lot more defense and really stacking up the save count?
Well, it was kind of interesting. As a team, we were definitely... fumbling the ball a little bit. no pun intended. But like as a sort of like I don't know, we ended up kind of just falling back to our net and with that unable to get boost, that sort of thing, and get the ball out to their side. We kind of just caved into the pressure, and that's where you saw the defense pretty much being the only thing we were doing. A little bit of panic, that sort of thing. But eventually, as we re-strategized, we were able to just bang a few shots to their side, and the game was back to where we wanted to be in our hands. And that you saw how it went.
So in that game 5, I mean, you were a big part of the comeback. You slammed home a couple of shots just in the air above the Utica net. How as an individual, did you kind of turn things around? You stopped the momentum that was going all Utica's way, and then in game 5, you turn it on for one last time.
I actually feel super lucky because under pressure, I'm horrible in the air. So being able to just that rush of confidence that that boost that it gave me, it just made it work, I guess. And I was able to give some banger passes, and Ty and Frez, they were able to score some amazing shots there at the end. You saw that.
Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Congrats on the big win.
Thank you for letting me be here. I really appreciate it.
Of course, you can go celebrate and enjoy your 2-1 record in the ECCC. But that'll do it for Rocket League. We've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming up in just a little bit. Fisher Spring taking on St. John's University. Combo and Kilomile is going to be on the call. But for Rocket League, for Captain Itsoka and myself, Mr. Bepic, wish you a good night and enjoy Super Smash Bros.
Again, thank you for the mic. Good night to everybody and to the audience. Yeah, good shit, guys. Have a good one.
It's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing, at least again from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paul, Lee, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting, that at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with, esports athletes, schools, programs in general, because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right, football player on the field, star quarterback, it makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school, it makes sense. But I think, nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing the space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that, your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there. And I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off? But
I think, thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix. So it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that, so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last nearly 14 months now. it's an interesting term because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. But there is still a burgeoning marketplace for many more student athletes that are involved. About 17% of NCAA athletes are currently involved in NIL, but 65% more than that want to get involved and are curious how to get started. On the flip side, brands are challenged with a few different things in the space. There are 10,000 professional athletes in the United States. Once July 1st, 2021 hit, and you dump every NCAA athlete into that space, that's another 500,000. So brands that maybe didn't have a dedicated athlete strategy when there were 10,000 now have 500,000 plus that 10,000 to figure out how to activate who they are. That's a lot. I understand brands' hesitancy in some instances, but I can tell you that companies like us are on a daily basis educating brands and student athletes as to the software you can use, the types of activations you can get involved in, and how to utilize your followings, or if you don't have to or want to be a social media star, other ways in which you can monetize it. Now, I know I described that under the umbrella of the NCAA, but I see it as being no different in esports. I think there are massive opportunities for people with followings to be able to use that and connect with brands. I think a company like us can help you to do that. And then beyond that, we can make sure that those transactions are safe for you. I think there are opportunities, not just at the individual competitor level, but at the program level to have a sponsorship go to that. I'm sure some of you out there listening and watching already have deals like that in place, but I think we can continue to enhance, augment those deals and make them more comprehensive and make them, first of all, I think product deals are perfectly fine, but I think we can get beyond that and grow some of these deals to a greater extent. Paulie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, what you said is right. So I'll put it in for layman's terms here for just the esports players, because I talk to so many of our athletes that compete in our CECC series that are currently still in college. And basically when Mike Blewett says NIL, what he's referring to is just very simple. If a brand or any sort of anyone wants to use your school's name or your brand or anything with you, there is a deal for you that can be put in place, whether it's product deal, whether it's a paid endorsement. You can, whether you're a macro influencer or whether you're a micro influencer, you can be paid for your services. So most of the people, when I talk to them, most of the, I won't say people, college athletes, they are, intimidated by the word. They don't really know what it means. They've never done anything with it before. And that's what it means. Any single time a brand or anyone at all wants to use your name or do a deal with you or do some sort of activation with you or your school, that's basically what the layman's terms, the NIL meaning comes from. And it's evolving in this space. There are so many brands that want to associate with micro and macro influencers and just get people involved with their products or their services. So all of you, collegiate athletes out there that are competing in esports, not only are we trying to broker those deals, but also keep your eyes, ears open, and don't be shy or scared to take these deals, because that's what I've heard the most, is that most of the time they're just scared to take them. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're locking themselves into some agreement or terms that they're like going to give their name away or something too. So this is a really important space, and it's how you're all going to physically make money and build your brands along with company brands. So it's really important to learn. And my advice is to just get your feet wet. Don't worry about shying away. Read the contracts and take some of these deals, because growing your own brand is the future of what our industry is going to be, in my opinion.
Exactly. And if you follow in the pro space, you'll see that the pro teams are not only focusing on competitive play, but a lot of them are focusing on their brand and their cultural importance in the space. And so one of the things that we do also is help athletes build their brand, build their following. And that's part of what Paulie and Kyler are doing on their side when we do this behind the scenes training. And so, building your brand, this is the creator economy. Anybody and everybody can be anything they want to be. And so we just really want to be the conduit that supports that across the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. With that said, thank you everyone for, I think, great insights in terms of, for any of you that were watching this and maybe had questions about, what is Esports U, what is CSMG, who are they, what are they doing, what are our plans, right? Well, we know we kind of tried to make a bigger splash in the spring, and we're excited to bring more stuff with you guys for the next year. But I think maybe as we close out here, I know we're slowly approaching on time then, but maybe let's go around the room with everyone here of just what's one thing that we're all excited for this next upcoming year. I know we touched on our plans and a lot of things, but if anyone had to speak, if you had to speak to just one thing of just what has you excited for us as a company, for us as the collegiate or college esports space, right? What's one thing that has all of you guys excited? And maybe we'll start with Mike, since our traditional sports guy, and we'll let Mike speak first.
Sure. So I would say many things on the traditional side, but I'll focus on esports. And I'd say the thing that I'm most excited about going forward is after yet another year of us doing a round of events, I'm excited that more schools
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it. Corner judges good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, gunning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ECAC Collegiate Super Smash Brothers. I'm Combo, joined here with Miles, and we've got a fantastic match lined up for you guys today. St. John's versus Fisher College. How are you feeling about that one, Miles?
I mean, Fisher College versus St. John's, that's been grand finals of some of our invitationals, but I do not think that this is Fisher College's main varsity roster. This is going to be their spring roster coming out here. And even though this is their spring roster, they've still got a lineup of killers awaiting for us. I don't know if we have roster cards, but regardless, I can go through it. Fisher College Spring, I mean, they did a whole roster reveal, and they've got players from all over the world, from Springfield, Connecticut, Tri-State, Philly, SoCal. Like, they've got everyone from all over the country coming out to Fisher to tear people up. But St. John's is no pushover. They are one of the schools that has been trying desperately to give Fisher College's main roster a run from their money. They haven't quite yet. They haven't quite figured out Fisher College yet, but they've been getting closer. Closer. Let's see if they can get this win tonight and take one more step towards that crown.
Yeah, I mean, Fisher College is a place that, reputation precedes them. They've taken name after name, title after title. So St. John's inching ever closer, trying their best to tackle that giant. Now having a spring roster to kind of test their mettle with. I'm really, really excited to see. Start off versus Moxie.
Yeah, Moxie, one of the new pickups this year. 188 on the NA Orion rank, if you spot that name. And they're looking to, well, make their debut in Collegiate. However, Loa Mola is not making it easy for them. That falling there gets an opening, but the juggle situation, Moxie just disengages, doesn't go in too hard in the paint with Arsene out to play.
Now keeping it, trying to go for a hard edge guard here. Wolf's recovery, definitely super abusable, and Joker has absolutely no issues trying to go for a strong edge guard effort, but Wolf is able to return to mid-stage. Now they're just playing the dance of moves, get one nair forward tilt conversion. Wolf is not able to take it too far, gets hit by the Arsene side B. They're going to clash mid-stage, get a forward throw. Wow! Hard commits to a roll-in read with that forward smash. Doesn't get anything off of it. third throw in the last 10 seconds. Tries to go for a ledge throw back air, doesn't quite, gets back air for his own troubles instead. Ooh, goes
Yeah,
for a
two
side
missed
catch.
techs. Two missed techs here from Lomola, and Moxie is starting to catch on. I feel like the next missed tech we see, Lomola, will be death. But if Lomola is just killed here in the ledge trap, I don't think we'll see it at all. They go right hung to center stage with that down gun with the platform protects Moxie to get the up tilt, and that's going to be a stock for Moxie.
Right, an anti-air through the platform to close out that first stock. Nothing that Joker can't come back from. Ooh, double forward air into almost a forward smash. There's the drag down up smash for the kill confirm Jokers, and now we're keeping it pretty much dead even here. Both these characters are kind of slippery. They love throwing out their hitboxes without too much effort, especially if they're spaced. But how close and tight and even it's been it's been really, really awesome to watch so far. Good up throw up air. Gets a backer fall up, and now we're pretty much dead even in percent despite how much advantage Wolf was building up beforehand. That's the power of Arsene and Joker, folks.
But Lomola is doing every little thing they can to keep their advantage, stalling in the air with the guns and catching out that jump air dodge. Lomola is getting full option coverage, but now Arsene is gone, and a forward tilt puts Lomola towards the edge. You can see Moxie trying to space forward airs, back airs, but instead they get counter hit. Can Lomola finish the stock here? Avoids the forward smash.
Yeah, we love that safe Wolf forward smash on shield. Whiffs and up smash, gets punished hard for it. Not quite enough to kill, though. That Arsene was really missing right there. There's a back air. Nice and chunky. Not enough to take the stock either way. Both are definitely in kill percent, but Wolf threatens a lot harder. There's the back throw. Going to close out that stock. Arsene was almost back up for Lomola there, but I'm going to have to work the way to build that Rebels gauge yet again.
Yeah, now 125 here. Even base Joker can finish off this stock, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be non-committal. And Moxie knows that. They wait for their opening. Forward air chains lead into 71 off of those up air strings. And now, even though Arsene's out, Moxie is riding this momentum they built. Has him at the ledge, reflects that, almost gets the kill with it too, but not quite yet. Moxie has the ledge trap situation. Full hop back air will be enough. Trips up Lomamola's timing, and that's going to be a 2-stock lead for Fisher's spring roster.
Oh my goodness. The absolute confidence that Moxie played with towards the end. They're perfectly landing. All those chains, all those falls, getting the right reads, catching those air dodges in. It's like he's already read Lomamola's book. It took him, a couple of stocks to get there. They're pretty dead even. Wolf would make a lot of effort. Moxie did a lot to get a lot of percent up, and then, Lomola take their chance back, get a couple of hits back in with Arsene, and we were about, 70, 80%. But after landing that second kill there on that second stock with Moxie, that third stock was clean, so confident. And they close out this, without really taking any damage at all is what it seemed like. And now they're going to walk away with a 2-stock lead here for Fisher College. That looks so even for so long. It almost didn't seem like it was a 2-stock.
Yeah, especially that first stock going back and forth. But I feel like it was Moxie getting a 71% punish off of a single stray hit at 0 that completely... I mean, I feel like as soon as that forward air hit, the game was already over. Lomola got a tap here or there, but never really came back from that. I mean, that punish game, that aggression really put Lomola on the back foot, and while they were stumbling, that's when Moxie was able to go in for the KO.
That is perfectly right. And now we have a wolf here, a very strong and scary wolf, the big bad wolf even. Presented here from Fisher Springside, and now St. John's gonna be thinking, okay, so we saw what Moxie can do, and they're a force to be reckoned with. How do we approach this? Who do they want to send in to try and deal with Wolf? And how much more damage is Moxie gonna do here? Because I'm seeing a lot of potential for big stock MVP type stuff here for Moxie. Not trying to call anything too early. St. John's has definitely got more than a fighting chance. But I mean, that confidence makes me feel something.
Yeah, I mean, St. John's pockets are deep. They have a lot of roster depth right here. EJJ, I expect, will likely be the anchor coming out here. But they have been known to send EJJ in right smack dab into the middle of the fray, and I don't think that would be a bad option. EJJ is a spectacularly consistent Diddy Kong. But I'm thinking that might be Luca. I'm seeing a Sephiroth icon, and I vaguely remember that being Luca. Now, Luca, they used to have J-Grunt on the roster. J-Grunt, very prominent Greninja from up in Tri-State. And then Luca came along and is a very prominent Greninja from up in Tri-State. And all in all, Luca has filled the shoes that Jagron left and more. Some of the clutch plays I've seen from Luca in the past, and honestly, hype plays. Greninja's hit and run play style. Okay, so that is EJJ. Never mind.
That is a Diddy Kong.
That is EJJ. I misread that tag. Unless they've got another Diddy Kong in the back pocket, but EJJ right in the middle here, I like this because I feel like EJJ's got a good shot against Moxie and can definitely ride this momentum farther in.
Yeah, this is the time you want to try to stop the bleeding because that 2 stock, while it didn't seem like it was going to end up being that way, is quite a significant advantage for Fisher Springs. So this is St. John's kind of imperative to stop this, try to even up the game, and give everyone else a chance. Oh my goodness. Speaking of evening up the game, look at these banana forward air strings on a singular platform.
Ooh, gets the trip into the down air, Z dropping all the way up and caught Moxie without the jump. Moxie is trying to just land and shield, but you see that? Moxie just sat and shield on the platform, not sure what to do right there. Gets the landing forward air, and we know how deadly that can be, but they fell right into the banana combo. They can't get anything going as EJJ dominates the neutral game.
Yeah, banana does not let you play neutral. You do anything, you try and push advantage, you try and approach, you are slipping on that banana, we are resetting the neutral, or it's my turn. Diddy Kong's banana is actually surprisingly and scarily oppressive.
Moxie trying to maintain banana control, but Monkey Flip will send them off the stage. Full jump off of that ledge does get Moxie back into center stage. An optimistic forward smash, and all of a sudden EJJ is definitely in kill percent. Ledge trump right there, forced to re-grab the ledge. Monkey Flip won't quite get the stock yet either.
Now we have Banana Ledge. He's able to grab it on the rise, trying to use Banana to his own advantage on Moxie's end. See if EJJ can get a taste of his own medicine. There is an up tilt on shield. Definitely get punished by that back throw. Not enough to kill 175% rage here on Moxie. Super, super scary for EJJ right now. This is where EJJ wants to take this 1 stock and not have to sack anymore, but he's not able to. The falling nair is going to clip the up special, and EJJ is going to drop. This is an entire 3 stock advantage for Fisher Spring right now. Honestly, this is great for Moxie. This is exactly at least a part of what Moxie wanted. To go down without at least dropping, or at least while taking a single stock, right? 1 stock has been taken. I think Moxie definitely has the potential to take more than just 1. But EJJ really, really needs to pull through here and get one of those insane chains that bring it back up to 40%.
Okay, and we're on the ride again. Moxie doesn't stay strapped in for as long as they did in the previous stock, but still EJJ maintains a lead, and yet there's a lot of counter hits. Moxie has definitely gotten their footing and keeping it very even, but even so, EJJ isn't quite able to get in, isn't quite able to get this big damage, and what I'm scared of is these higher percents combo, though that is caught without a jump, not able to get the gimp though.
Ooh, throws a banana back at him. There's a back throw. We got stage advantage here for Moxie, going for these double forward smashes and then a down tilt. Look at this pressure, Miles.
Yeah, and poking at range even despite everything. I mean, obviously EJJ is still very capable of doing this. Monkey Flip does get this.
Oh my
just side B
goodness!
off of the ledge, raw off the rip. Doesn't get the ledge trump, but that aggression is what we saw from Moxie. But finally, just the raw up smash will do it. I was gonna point out those raw up smashes because I was scared of them combo. That was what lost EJJ a lot of neutral exchanges on stock 1. But in the scramble situation, EJJ was able to just scoop up Moxie and finish off that stock before things got too hairy.
Yeah, it seems like EJJ really loves pressing the run up and up tilt button to get something started, or the run up and up smash button to get something, you know, finish that stock. And either way, both are very punishable on shield, and we've seen both get punished on shield beforehand. But, you know, sometimes the no mix-up, you know, throwing out the bad option or throwing out the questionable option when an opponent's not expecting it, especially, as you said, in these scramble spaghetti situations, can and did take care of the stock there. So EJJ is going to move on with 2 stocks remaining, giving only a 1 stock lead to Fisher, if I'm doing this right. 2 stock lead for...
That's the one, and you can check all that out on our handy
That is right.
UI right
That's
down here.
why we have it.
Shout out to ECAC. Shout out to Colton getting all this set up for us because, whoo, it's looking good. As right now, yeah, 5 stocks remaining in the first crew battle for St. John's, because that is the way these regular season matches work. Even though there's only 3 players in the crew battle, it's a best of 3 crew battles. So you've got to win 2 to win. That's 18 stocks taken total, but as it stands, it's unclear who's going to get these first 9.
That's right, yeah. Potentially what looks like we have coming out from Fisher is either Mateo or Sauce, Palutena from Tri-State on Mateo's side, or Sauce, Mario, who's 11th in Philadelphia right now. Both, got some pedigree to them, both representing many different parts of the East Coast. And both strong contenders here for being the one to take out EJJ and to keep pushing Fisher College's valiant efforts forward. I'm curious to see who they want to go with because I can really see either character, but I think my preference would be for a Palutena pick here.
I'm actually leaning the other way. I think the Mario would be the play, and that's just because I know a slow and patient Mario playstyle is kind of annoying for Diddy Kong to do anything about because Diddy Kong has to respect all of Mario's anti-air combo starter kill moves. The fact that and yeah, sure, kill moves, but if you get hit by an up air towards the side of the stage at, I don't know, anywhere from any double-digit %, you're just dead. Like, if the Mario is on point, you might just be dead. If you get hit by a falling nair at low %, you might just be dead. Down throw at low %, you might just be dead. And that is the thing that Diddy Kong has to respect, that Mario has landing, rising, and falling, and grounded combo starters that lead into kills, and that makes Diddy Kong's neutral a little more complicated because while you can just play standard Diddy Kong neutral, those stray hits that Diddy Kong can sometimes take come back to bite in a big way.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what you're saying now. I was thinking a lot about the neutral game and the banana pressure, but we also did, recognize EJJ is quite aggressive. And so having a Mario sit back and go for heavy punishes would be really nice, but I still feel like Palutena kind of runs all over Diddy Kong on the neutral game, particularly because of her disjoints and her shields with things on dash attack and back air and her neutral air, comboing into itself and covering, most options that Diddy Kong has. And I feel like Palutena doesn't really have any necessary reason to approach herself, so she doesn't run the risk of just running into a random banana. And here is the Palutena pick. It turns out we're going over to Hollow Bash, and we have to see EJJ take a stock, and Mateo steps up to the plate to put this monkey down.
All right, Mateo stepping up to the plate on Hollow Bastion, but an immediate down throw means that EJJ is getting things going.
We did see.
I like this.
Mateo just kind of run in with a forward air, and I was a little contrary to what I was expecting because, like I said before, I don't believe Palutena has to push super hard in on neutral here. She can kind of keep her distance and wait for bait and punish opportunities with throw combos of her own. So running with the forward air right off the start gives a kind of different message for what the kind of Palutena that Mateo might play, and I think that play style might result in different interactions we expect.
Okay.
Double fair into dash attack, nice combo, getting hit by the banana on the way back to stage. There is the auto reticle. There's some annoying poke that dude doesn't really want to deal with. Get away from the banana. This is the way Palutena wants to be. Approaches with Nair, gets punished for 89%. We're actually approaching kill percent here on Palutena. Mateo is going to want to put on the damage real quick and see if they can land a kill confirm soon.
Falling forward air does get nice little poke and prod, but right now EJJ is not feeling super threatened. Now off stage you might be feeling a little more. We saw Diddy Kong's recovery exploited before, and ever since then EJJ has been so patient with his resources off stage, as the banana forward smash will be enough to take Mateo out on the first stock.
Yeah, Mateo going for the grounded dash attack, raw in neutral, going super hard, getting super punished and losing a whole stock for it. Now EJJ getting the down throw back air, continuing on these strings, 26% of extra credit already. We got a Palu throw. There's a down throw back air way too far. Diddy's a little too light. DI is a little too far for that to really solidly confirm right now. I'm not really sure how consistent it's going to be on Diddy, so that might be rough in terms of kill option. Ooh, there's a banana down air into up air, 86%, almost looping a stock in percent now. Looking pretty good for EJJ. Seems like Mateo is getting a little impatient in crucial moments and throwing out super unsafe options that get heavy punished by Diddy.
Like I said, EJJ dangerously consistent. The fact that even in high pressure situations, EJJ keeps his cool, well, not quite cool there, get caught in the explosive flame, but even so, when you start to go down, when the quality of play starts to go down, maybe just a little bit, unnoticeable amounts, that's when EJJ shines, because EJJ doesn't really usually get that. But Mateo is coming back on this last stop right here.
Oh my goodness!
Caught by the banana fresh out of the pocket.
Yeah, throws out the banana to challenge the explosive flame. Still has enough time to shield it and punish it. Absolutely incredible run up forward smash to take that stock.
Yeah, and I mean, At this point, EJJ has done their job, but they want to take this even further. They want to push Fisher Spring all the way to the brink, but chase all the way up into the blast zone, up and down and up and down. EJJ was banished from the ground as Mateo finally got the anti-air and the stock. That, I believe, is going to be a slight lead remaining with Fisher Spring.
That's right. The miracle double dash attack into finally catching with the up air. Palutena up air, deadly strong near the upper ends of the blast zone, so you do not want to catch yourself falling into that. It is so surprising. I really would have never expected such demonic power from such a move, and yet you are dying at like 60, 70 sometimes. You're getting clipped by that. So really, really got to be careful about Palutena's anti-airing opportunities, whether it be her throwing her up airs, her throwing out an up tilt sometimes, up smash definitely. A lot of scary stuff that Palutena. Sometimes she'll just jump up and nair you, air-to-air catch, see what she can do. Palutena, very strong contender, very strong, solid character, and I think a good pick to deal with Diddy Kong. And now there's still a one stock remaining here on Mateo to deal with St. John's last player, who is possibly and hopefully probably the player you talked to us about before, Luca the Greninja.
Yeah, I do see a Greninja icon in there. I mean, again, St. John's has so many players they could send in, but I feel like a lot of those players are ones. I mean, these colleges have clashed enough times that there's not really any like surprises. It's not like I'm withholding information. I need to double check if Mr. L still goes there. I don't know if Mr. L graduated or not, but regardless, I saw a Greninja in there briefly. The Greninja is now gone. It's like reading like tea leaves, trying to see this little screen and be like, who's coming in? You know, like doing a tarot reading. It's like, I see a Greninja in your future, but how far? That's the thing, past, present, or future.
That's right. That's right. I think this matchup is interesting too, because I, again, personally think this is slightly favored towards Palutena. Again, where Greninja is a character that really relies on consistency and landing all of those combos. And I think the neutral game is just pretty solidly favored in Palutena. If she wants to jump in with Nair, she's covering so many of Greninja's options. It's going to be a lot of bait and punish from Greninja's end, and otherwise trying to get the right approach when she's sitting back and auto-reticling or throwing out the explosive flames. She's very maneuverable, and as is Greninja, quite slippery on both ends. So I think Greninja's speed can at least try and challenge her airspeed. But overall, going to have a lot of time actually challenging a lot of her normals, whether they be both on the ground or in the air. I mean, how is Greninja really going to approach on, let's say, Palutena short hop back airing constantly? You throw out any move, you're probably, unless you're very tightly spacing out a forward air, probably losing that interaction with pretty much anything else. And I think that's going to make Greninja a little tough to play this matchup, but we'll have to wait and see.
I agree. However, I do think Greninja's unique strength of being a more hit-and-run character, having a lot of vertical burst and how fast and how high the jump goes. I mean, I always think of Greninja moving in like a cross pattern, like the way Greninja can move really fast horizontally, really fast vertically, but can't really do diagonal movements. Means that you can get a lot of really unpredictable, like falling nair combo starters, a lot of, you know, like you mentioned, space forward air. So as long as you're playing elusively, playing hit and run, not letting your pacing become too obvious, not letting a pattern develop, then I feel like Luca stands to go on a pretty good run here. But if Mateo is able to shut that down before Luca can even start dancing, I think we might be seeing our second crew battle with Fisher up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, so much is on Luca's shoulders right now. This is the kind of make or break for what advantage is Fisher Spring going to have going into this final match. A significant one or none at all? And that is really everything for Luca to decide right now. But getting caught in that down throw forward after a jump was caught by Nair. Ooh, landing there. Again, very tough for Greninja to try and challenge. I think I can see Luca trying to play this patient. There's a good punish on the auto reticule with the dash attack. Gets a forward air to follow up. That's kind of the hit and run they could be looking for. Nice forward air. Another dash attack going for the back air. Wow, misses the ledge grab there. It could have been a huge punish for Luca. They were ready for it.
Okay, dash attack still confirmed in up air at this percent, and right now we're gonna see probably Luca switching over to the down tilts, but no, they're catching Mateo mashing. Do you see that? They got hit, immediately went into the nair, like nah, you can't hit me. Mateo just scoops him up with the double kunai, and that up smash will even things up between Fisher Spring and St. John's.
Oh wow, what an incredibly hard call out right there. Like, oh, you're gonna go air dodge and you want to press another button? Fine. Let me catch your landing with my tippered up smash that's gonna take your stock from the top blast zone. And now Luca does in fact even it up. This was exactly what St. John's needed to keep themselves in the game. Because if there's a big advantage for Fishers, even if it's 1 or 2 stocks going into this last game, I mean, you have no more resources to play with. There's no more stop the bleeding. This is it. 3 stocks to 3 stocks or less. So you want to have as much as you can possibly have to try and keep the stakes as close as possible, because again, this is your chance to take down the king, Fisher College. And I think St. John's is in a pretty well positioned area right now, but it really depends on Fisher College's last player and what character they end up playing.
Yeah, I have an idea. Like, we heard who was likely going in, and that likely player was going to be, if I remember correctly, Sauce Mario from Philly. My hometown right there. Well, not hometown, right outside Philly. But regardless, Sauce, again, deadly Mario player, consistently gets very, very, very long strings, but I feel like the main strength right here is just the ability to near constantly have a combo starting hitbox out. I mean, between landing back airs, back air on Mario is just ridiculous. Back air on Mario is like a low-key DLC tool. I'll say it. But regardless, but everything else is still deadly. Like the landing nairs, nair is good for like horizontal combos. Up air is good for more vertical combos. Like, and also this is them with a counter pick right here. I actually am curious to see what are the bans. If they didn't ban these triplats. Yeah, okay, so the triplats are banned.
Yeah, I was like, it's
away,
about to be triplat city if they're not banned. That's absolutely perfect combo food there for Mario. I mean, already I feel like Greninja is a fast follower, doesn't have the greatest air drift speed, and is also kind of tall. Like, it's just the prime suspect for getting up air chained into infinity and beyond. It's really going to be rough if Greninja's going to be caught by stray hits left and right, whether it be the landing nairs, whether it be the dash up down throws, the falling up airs. All of those are very much on the table for this matchup in particular. Meanwhile, Greninja kind of has the opposite problem, where his combos are very reliant on getting hard reads on DI drifts and hoping the character is not super small or light or too much percent, where they just fall out of everything. And Mario kind of on the smaller side, not necessarily super light, but I think the size alone actually will make a big difference in Greninja's combo consistency, which means we might, still play into the hit and run strategy, but every time you get your hit, you're not really gaining a whole lot of advantage. Meanwhile, Mario can just throw out hitboxes left and right. Any stray hit could be a huge conversion for him. The risk reward stakes are so heavily skewed against Greninja right now. It's scary. But a really strong advantage state from Greninja, catching everything, getting perfect reads back to back to back, could be an early stock gone too. So it's not over. It's not out of the game by any means. It's just going to be dangerous, very dangerous.
The way we saw that last game end was, in fact, Mateo trying to mash an aerial out of a combo and getting killed at 80% for it. If, forbid, Sauce comes out and is, has a ton of momentum, is just aerial, and Luca is able to hit one down tilt, I predict that we're going to see an aerial come out and just almost instantly punished. Like, I feel like Luca has to be ready for those turn the table situations where you're getting comboed, you're getting knocked around the stage, and all of a sudden you get one opening. Luca has to be ready for that one opening, because I feel like in terms of like single hits, Greninja hits so much harder. In single, like one hit confirms, Greninja hits harder. I mean, obviously, again, Mario is a combo demon, but I feel like Luca, has the kill confirms and also just knows how to punish a mistimed air dodge, a mistimed aerial in the middle of a combo, and Luca will be able to find that punish if it comes to that.
Yeah, that timing is going to be a lot tighter on Mario compared to Palutena. Palutena's moves are a bit more of a commitment. They're a bit more unsafe, which is why often they're going to be looking to space them out and try not to get caught mashing too much. Meanwhile, Mario's are significantly safer where you can kind of afford to be pressing a lot of buttons. And as long as you aren't timing them too awfully, a lot of the times they actually won't be able to get away with a punish. I'm thinking mostly falling up air into dash away here. I think falling nair onto shield that doesn't cross up is probably going to be punished pretty consistently. But other than that, I mean, as long as you aren't going for the absolutely most, low-level option every single time, which, of course, at this level of play, it's not going to be happening. There's got to be mix-ups. I think Greninja is going to have to be very, very careful nonetheless. The ideology sticks, but the opportunity to execute kind of the counterplay is so much tighter and so much less just because of the character differences.
I agree wholeheartedly, as it does look like we have our competitor in the match right now, getting the stages all set up. Where are we going? Oh, I see. It looks like there were just some, slight connection difficulties. Thanks, Nintendo. But that's why we had that little delay. I thank everyone for sticking with us, for having patience, because we got one player in the arena now. We've got both players in the arena right now, and I think we are just about ready to get into this match.
There it is. Yep, it's Mario versus Greninja, the matchup we were creating hypotheticals for this, the entire time, pretty much. So it's nice to see our hypothesis sticks based on information on player rosters and all. Should be expected, but it's always nice to make sure commentator's information is right. And we're gonna hop into this final match here of the first game of this crew battle: Fisher Spring versus St. John's, Sauce versus Luca, Mario versus Greninja.
As immediate chunking down right there, but Luca does get their one opening, shields the get up attack, but that Randy up smash will get them out of the scramble situation. Playing under the Smashville platform now, you can see the spaced aerials, but Luca weaves through the fireballs, maintains stage control, but one hit is going to put them off stage. They've got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think this first stock so far has been kind of a perfect description and representation of what we talked about, which is, Mario falling out of Greninja combos and Mario hitting Greninja with literally anything and everything and all converting to damage. Because now we see this Mario at 46% and this Greninja now at 0%, formerly 146%, getting their dash attack punished with an up smash on shield. I think there's a lot of opportunity for Sauce to try and pick up the counterplay very quickly and see what habits that Luca is pushing, because they're also a bit more committal. And I think Mario has ample opportunity to get as many punishes as he'd like, and that up smash rather is perfect evidence of that.
Yeah, able to DI out of those low percent Mario combos, and catches the tumbling plumber down, as this is looking like more and more of an even game, but the landing there, that's not safe at 0%, and you can see Sauce goes for blood right there, looking for an air dodge read. Luca does not give it to them, and instead gets the counter hit, has center stage again, but here comes Sauce, extending up into the blast zone, not gonna kill yet, but 89%, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, we saw earlier too, we were talking about Greninja trying to push a crazy advantage state, and that's how he was able to pick up the last stuff. But man, that falling nair into Mario throwing a nair of his own to break the combo and make it his own, absolutely disgusting, and unfortunately a hallmark representation of kind of the way this matchup is played out. What an up smash as an answer to catch the jump there. 120% on Luca. We're seeing Sauce just fishing for his up smash right now. That's 3 up smashes, I want to say, in the span of 6 seconds. Third time's the charm, takes the stock. And Mario is looking to close this out ASAP. Luca is not down out for the count just yet, but man, that's a close range, close quarter fireball into a jab. 1, 2, 3 for 26%. We're pulling out different strings and combos today.
1%, trying to catch the landing, but the up tilt doesn't connect, and this is looking scary right now. Uppy out of shield, literally one of the best out of shield options in the entire game, as the down air. Ooh, that time Sauce does not overextend.
Using the fireball to approach there to beat out the forward smash. Sauce has just got Luca's number right now. Not a whole lot of options that Luca can throw at that Sauce isn't already ready and willing to deal with. Although that down tilt forward air did end up catching him. There's the Hydro Pump. Not going to be enough. Can't use Mario's flood technology on him. Think he's ready for it. There's a rising down air. About kill percent, I would say, here onto Luca. Nice jump forward air to close this kill, but now he's at 107%. Definitely in fishing for up smash percent. And there it is. Down tilt to catch the air dodge. Get the read, close it out with an up smash. Sauce is gonna take it over Luca and bring game 1 to Fisher Spring. That is a very dominating way to end that game.
Yeah, that was really impressive. But looking at the patterns that developed throughout that game, not entirely unexpected. Throughout the game, Sauce would hit a falling up air down tilt, and they would send Luca up and up and up and up, and all Luca wanted to do was not go up, not get on that staircase. So they air dodge. What else are you going to do in that situation? It's not like Greninja has any really fast get off me tools. It's not like they've got a super good like up B out of the combo string option. No, they're just going to air dodge. And so how do you get that early kill? You don't send them up with an up air, up air, up B. You just wait for the landing, patient, poised, and you catch it with an up smash. Great stuff right there from Sauce.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think our pre-match analysis was pretty spot on how we expected this matchup to play out. Overall, pretty favored to Sauce just because of all the buttons he can afford to press, while Luca definitely has opportunities, those very tight, critical moments to really take those stocks. And we saw those executed too, both catching on those forward airs off hard reads. But it just wasn't enough. There's not enough damage consistency on Greninja's end because we saw Mario fall out of multiple Greninja combos multiple times and also break out of one manually too. It's tough. It is really, really rough.
And can we share that? I'm saying it on stream. I'm sorry. Luca actually had Sauce blocked on Elite, which is why that match took so long to set up. I love Smash Brothers. I love Smash Brothers. Oh, what a beautiful game we both play, Combo.
Yeah. What a beauty indeed. What a beauty indeed. That is wow. I can't even begin to formulate thoughts on that. That is
And you know what? You know what? Sauce got the revenge for that right there. Sauce got the revenge for the delay, and that does mean, like we said, Fisher College Spring up 1-0, but down to last stock, last hit. St. John's can certainly bring this back. Now, I don't necessarily see them swapping up on the rosters. I mean, they were doing pretty dang well. Like, they do have other players that they could go for, but I don't really see the need to. I mean, anyone from Mr. Saturn on the Young Link to there was a player named Bootleg who put on a spectacular showcase for me and Soy or Sai back at CECC East, but like, wow, you don't really need to do that. Everyone else that they have has proven time and time again that they have what it takes. I mean, Aloma Mola didn't really get to show as much of what they're capable of, but Aloma Mola I know personally as like a very clutch player. I mean, Joker has the built-in comeback mechanic, but there are other methods of keeping score that have been used in the past where like you need to win with a 3-stock if you want to have any chance of winning. And Aloma Mola is the person that they would send in when they needed to buckle down against all odds and get that. And it would be the scrappiest 3-stock you've ever seen, living up to like 200%. But Aloma Mola would pull it out. So back against the wall here, I feel like there's not really any need to switch up the roster. Now, in terms of the order that they went out, let me think. What do you think? Were there any matchups that you think should be like different this time?
Well, I think we did kind of see the conclusion of Moxie Aloma Mola, and I feel like if anything, if they do replay that matchup, from what I could see and how fast Moxie was adapting, I think that would be an even harder win in Moxie's favor. So I think they're going to want to rethink how they want to open in case, because I feel like Fisher College is on the safer side. What works, don't need to change if it's not broken. So we don't have to send out Moxie, or rather, we have no reason to change Moxie if we don't want to. But I guess we do have a Lomolo opening back up here on St. John's side as well. I wouldn't necessarily super recommend this, but if they're confident in the Lomolo's adaptation potential as well, and or expect Moxie to kind of be on ice and want to push forward, I think it's still perfectly playable because I think matchup-wise, this really isn't an issue, and it's more about the character, or rather the players, and their potential to adapt to these matchups.
And Alomomola is slippery right now, and that's what Joker's best at, but Alomomola particularly. But down throw dash tag, baby, that's going to rack up some percent. Alomomola struggling on that platform for a moment, tries to get back to center stage, but gets caught by a nair. Now Arsene, it's their turn to play, but isn't able to get that Tomahawk grab. Moxie maintaining center stage, gets that neutral get up read, and now it's Moxie with a ledge trapping situation, but can't hold on to it.
So crazy. They got a footstool into a tumble lockdown neutral getup that he punished with a grab off of. That's a very interesting setup that I wouldn't really ever expect to see, but sometimes things like that just happen in these games. Highly doubt it was planned, but great follow-up nonetheless. Wow, what a catch off stage, following the jump arc perfectly, and even without Arsene able to clip Moxie off the stage. But here so far, not too different from what we've seen in the first game. One person usually gets the kill and the other person gets maybe a bit of extra credit, but the death is not too far behind, and there it is. Back to even, 2 stocks apiece here. Moxie versus Alomomola back to back. Let's see if either one can really push forward strong advantage. What a string there for Alomomola, almost brings something huge, but attempts to go for a re-grab instead. Jumps over the whip grab, gets a forward tilt punish, and catches with the dash attack. They get thrown for his trouble. There's an up throw, fair. Ooh, there's a Rebels guard. We almost have Arsene back on deck. This could be big for Alomomola.
Yeah, and that single forward air, 39%. Arsene is already out to play. You're at 87%. This is not good for Moxie. They tried to go for a soft nair, a combo starter, but Alomomola is not falling into it. So instead, Moxie backs off, plays safe under this platform, waits for that improperly spaced back air, and now all of a sudden, Alomomola's Arsene is running low.
Okay, Arsene's down for the count, getting clipped by the laser as well. We have the Joker grapple to return to stage. There's a down tilt to pop him up. Catch with the fair as well. We have Gun for edge guard. Fishing for something big here right now, whether it be falling up air or falling forward air. Up be back to stage. There's a down smash, pretty delayed, not quite going to be a punish. Doesn't get too punished in response either. High percent, scramble for a kill here. There's a nair. Is this Lamola's chance? They're fishing for it. There's a whiff.
Does not fall into that, but I like not going for an up smash again. Gets out of that scramble situation with a grab, and now Moxie does have to contend with Arsene again, but I feel like this is scary for both characters right now. Has to find a way to get back to stage. They get clipped by the down guns, and that's going to be it. Yeah, Moxie just up B straight down to the depths. Wants to get back into the fray as soon as possible to punish that Arsene while you have invincibility.
So this is where the script gets a little rewritten from the first game. Ooh, okay, maybe it won't be that different, but last time when they're both at 2-stock situation, Moxie ends up taking it first and has a bunch of percent that he carries with a bunch of momentum till the end of the game and walks away with 2 stocks. Now we do have a 1-stock situation each time around, so Alomomola is making waves here in terms of presence for St. John and stock availability. Going to be super, super helpful. Arsene is going to come online soon, and it could be Alomola's opportunity to put Moxie down for good.
Falls out of that dash attack, and that's just enough what Moxie needed, but tech situation, Alomomola does not have the burst to get over there, but they are able to cover it with these lingering aerials. But again, these nairs have been so brutal combo for setting up these tech situations. Nice slide off though from Alomomola.
Yeah, now resetting here to neutral. Still 40% disadvantage here for Alomomola, and Arsene is down. Moxie's been really good at playing the slower game and eventually catching that ledge get up with a hard commit read up smash to close out that stock. 1 stock lead here for Fisher Spring. Moxie stays alive and claims conquest over Alomomola yet again. Alomomola did put up a bigger fight this time though and was able to take another stock, and hopefully those waves can be felt throughout the rest of this set for St. John's. That keeps him in the game.
Yeah, that was the Alomomola I know. I feel like Moxie kind of, again, just ran away with the momentum in that first game we saw between the two. This time, Moxie had some pushback, but was not stumbling, did not have, especially on that last stock, didn't look like they're like, am I going to lose to the person I beat before? There were none of those stray thoughts lingering around their head. Instead, they just stayed calm, stayed collected, and as soon as they got the ledge trap situation and had Alomomola sweating, that's when they got their kill. I feel like towards the end there, when we saw like forward air, a lot of soft hits knocking them off, Moxie knew that Alomomola was just going to neutral get up again. And so what do? You up smash. You get that scoop hitbox just when you think, and I think they would have covered roll too, looking at the spacing.
Not
like they were
100%
right in the
sure,
middle.
but it's in there.
Yeah, like they, with that lingering scoop hitbox, they were covering as much as they possibly could.
Mm-hmm. That's right, yeah. Moxie's going to walk away. So now let's talk about responses here, right? Last time we had brought out, I believe it was Palutena from St. John's. No, other team. Other team. Why am I blanking on this? I'll have to take a look at roster real quick.
It's Mateo you were thinking of, or you're talking about St. John's. Yeah, so
Yeah.
St. John's, last time they sent out EJJ to counter Moxie, and EJJ had a tremendous start against Moxie previously. I mean, frankly, just obliterated Moxie's first stock, but then they it got a little scrappy. It got a little dicey. I felt like Moxie was controlling EJJ's banana more than EJJ was.
Mm-hmm. But EJJ was still able to run away with the win, with I believe a 1 or 2 stock deficit. So it's painful, but not super huge. And now instead of Moxie having 2 stocks from last game, it's only be 1 stock. So if they decide to throw EJJ again, we have given proof that EJJ can definitely deal with Moxie given time. And I think it being only 1 stock is something that EJJ can very easily deal with. So sending EJJ back out does not seem like a bad decision at all. However, the third player, I believe, was Luca, the Greninja. I think is good to... Ooh, that's tough, actually.
It does look like it's going to be EJJ.
Okay, it's going to be EJJ. All right, well, no need to theorize about team composition then, because we're just going to have EJJ come in and try to clean this wolf up from this situation, because I still think there's very strong potential for Moxie to really push momentum forward, because of all the players we've seen so far, Moxie's momentum push from that first game across those 2 stocks is just it was incredible. And I would honestly love to see more of it, but I wouldn't, not banking on it. I understand that the math is not in my favor there.
Yeah, I feel like one of the reasons EJJ had such a strong opening, partially just because EJJ is good, but also because when you're fighting that Joker, trying to track down that slippery character, you want to get in there. You want to get on top of that Joker, as opposed to Diddy, who's a little bit like a matador. Like, you try and go in and Diddy just short hops up and Z drops the banana, is like ole, and just sends you right back swinging. You get that 60% combo, and then you start looking for kills. You start looking for edge trap situations. So as long as Moxie is quicker with adjusting that momentum, is ready to deal with that difference in spacing, I feel like Moxie won't get it run over as fast.
Ooh, but I'm liking the opening here. Drop down with the laser and then dash back, get a grab punish on the dash attack. Already a solid opening here from Moxie. Every read has been right, not a point of damage onto Moxie so far. Another grab punish. This is going to be a back throw. We're going to get an edge guard situation with a back air. Let's Trump. Okay, caught by falling there. Respond with an air of his own. Get back on the stage. Banana's here to rule the neutral game. How does Moxie respond?
Yeah, Moxie's use of strong nairs. Oh, I love that. Gets that perfectly spaced back air. But again, when you're just swinging all around the shield, I like how Moxie is no nonsense enough to be like, okay, I'm just gonna up smash. I'm not dealing with this right now, man.
Get me out of here, man. I'm not dealing with this monkey business. Ooh, there's the back throw. Now we're both kind of in that kill percent range. And this is where things can get really, really scary, because I feel like Diddy Kong has the natural inherent advantage of how fast the banana comes out and how fast down tilt comes out for that down tilt up smash combo to confirm. In those scramble situations, those who have the fastest little, pips and quicks and whatever else scoops you want to do that end up confirming to kills definitely are able to just kind of throw those options out constantly and usually not get punished for them, and in fact actually end up getting the kill confirmed they want, which is exactly what we just saw with EJJ there and the down tilt. I was expecting banana throw. Down tilt works pretty much just the same way here in this specific situation, so should be fine. EJJ walks away with all 3 stocks, and now we're back to 6-6, dead even here between Fisher College and St. John's. Good response from St. John's, and now Fisher's going to have to put themselves to a test. We have Mateo and Sauce, Palutena, and Mario. I could very easily see Mateo come back out to deal with the Diddy Kong, just what we'd seen last time, but maybe Sauce wants to bring something new to the table.
I wouldn't mind a switch up, I won't lie. I felt like EJJ was a stock behind, and it was dicey against Mateo. Now, obviously, Mateo now has the data, now understands what EJJ is bringing to the table, but I feel like Palu, it pains me to say this, knowing how many characters in this game that get trapped at the ledge, but I feel like relative to other top tiers, Palu doesn't do that well at the ledge. Like, Palu getting off the ledge, she has disjoints. Yeah, she has Explosive Flame to trip you up, but if you shield the Explosive Flame, Palu oftentimes isn't even that scary. And EJJ is not someone who gets caught in those knowledge checks. EJJ is not going to get caught by shield pokes. They're going to stand strong at the ledge and stuff out your options, because while Palu does have, you know, several aerials that's like, oh yeah, this aerial, easily one of the best aerials in the game. Oh yeah, this aerial, easily one of the best aerials in the game. There's just something about trying to rise off the ledge with them that, like, if they don't hit right when you want them to, you're just so wide open to get punished.
Yep, they are commitments, despite how good they are. They are situational uses where, you know, if you're using Nair, you're going to want to be spacing it, you're going to want to be crossing it up. And when you're jumping off ledge to try and approach or trying to recover from high up at stage, you don't have those luxuries of getting the perfect spacing all the time. You don't have the luxury of, like, kind of exactly knowing your opponent's position and how they're going to respond to what you're doing. Because you're in the disadvantage at that point. And I can definitely very strongly see your point about Palu occasionally struggling at ledge depending on the matchup, and I think Diddy can take decent advantage of it. We saw before Palu tried to cover her landing with the Explosive Flame. We saw Diddy kind of backwards throw out the banana ahead of time, then shields the Explosive Flame. The banana still connects at the perfect time where EJJ can then run up and punish with a forward smash. I love to see more set play and reverse set play situations like that. And I think it's very much possible. And it looks like we are running the same matchup back. Mateo versus EJJ, Palutena versus Diddy Kong. I wonder if we're going to go back to Hollow Bastion too.
I wonder. I don't know if that is their preferred pick. No, they'd rather have the double platforms.
You got small battlefield this time around. Yeah, I was thinking how much of a rewrite the second game would be compared to the first. Ooh, EJJ already missing a big punish there with the cross-up grab in the wrong direction. But we get the banana throw. There is the down air, but doesn't get the up tilt to follow up. Back to neutral. Misses a dash grab here on Palutena's end. Mateo's trying to get something started, but does not want to deal with that banana. Gets a forward air, rolls in, and instead catches a jump compared to going for a grab. And now we're reset here. Caught by the banana. Air dodge back in. These guys are just throwing moves on each other's shield and hoping something sticks.
As St. John, EJJ air dodges off stage, but I like that Mateo doesn't get too risky off stage. I mean, I feel like could have very easily just hit them out of the barrels right there, but when the stakes are this high, there's no need to risk it that much. Catches that really big cross-up with a dash attack backwards right there, and I like that option, forcing EJJ to angle towards the ledge because, well, airspace was just not an option.
That's right. Earlier, I like to call it a play where Mateo is just praying for a miracle. Ooh, this could be a kill situation, though. He has a banana and forward throws the banana onto Diddy's shield, and despite not checking if the banana actually hit or not, begins to start up forward smash and gets punished in the middle of it. Thought that was the funniest interaction, just absolutely believing with 100% of your might that that banana was going to hit. Ooh, catching the up B with a Nair, and that's going to be a kill. That Nair is really, really good. And offstage, definitely not a burden. But as you said before, still got to be careful with it because you don't want to be putting yourself in a bad position either.
Yeah, up smash right there, catches the banana too, a landing tool right there, and they use it to confirm into a grab, 25% already. Ooh, EJJ spaces right outside that Nair right there combo.
Ooh, is able to get a throw to grab the landing. Tries to go for another one. Whiffs, but not too bad here. No punish in response. We got 55% of extra credit at this point. Looking a little big here for Mateo, and something that EJJ is going to want to clean up on soon. They don't want this lead to get messy.
I speculated about how it would be Mateo who might struggle at the ledge, but right now it's really just been EJJ who has been battered and bruised trying to get back on the stage. I mean, look at this right now. We could just see the Nair going all the way down. EJJ is starting to angle, just ride the stage up, but even so, that's can be a little risky at times.
Yeah, we also just saw EJ kind of hoping for that, you know, run up tilt or run up smash options thrown out every now and then, but Mateo has been playing so much safer, catching so many buttons pressed ahead of time with those lingering hitboxes and those disjoints. Very, very well played, Mateo so far. Nice, gets a back throw at ledge for a kill. That's an entire stock ahead now, 0-0. Not looking super great here for EJJ, and potentially not looking super great for St. John's either.
Ooh, gets that banana on platform. We've seen this extend before, but only 44%. This time, EJJ got their damage, but now it's being evened out immediately. And again, they're stock down right here. You don't want to let Mateo get this lead again. You don't want to put all the pressure on again.
Yeah, this could be a point of commentator's curse from my end where I was saying, you know, a lot of momentum here was in Mateo's favor and EJ just turned everything right back around. But again, expecting a cross-up and punishing in the wrong direction. I wonder if those are misinputs or something else. It's not the first time that's happened.
Possibly. Oh, lingering forward air does set up for an edge guard situation, but as it stands, EJJ cannot find the finisher right here. I'm hoping we do see this confirmed. There we go. Banana forward smash. Is this going to be a complete rerun of game one? Are we going to see 4 stocks of 3? Or will EJJ set up St. John's for a possible game 3?
Right, 60% deficit isn't pretty, but is also not something you can't come back from. And we've seen Diddy have some of these explosive burst combos, pumping out damage left and right sometimes, if they're in the right position, as I was just talking about. And now we're pretty much even in percent. This is getting super, super scary. A lot is riding on EJJ's shoulders right now in terms of getting St. John's the front foot. This is scary. Crucial time, approaching those kill percents, trying to land those last couple stray hits or confirms to really put them in there. Ooh, we're approaching kill percent for Diddy. Right, there's the falling Nair. It won't be enough. Are they going to catch the up B with the Nair? Not quite. Diddy's looking and fishing for a banana confirm. Punish with the forward air here. There's the explosive flame that he jumps into. What a jump catch. And Mateo is still going to walk away with 1 stock over EJJ. The script has not been changed.
That's shocking because EJJ has been going low a lot. And EJJ's answer to falling nairs from ledge as a counter to going low was not necessarily to go side. I mean, when EJJ had monkey flip, they would go for the side B. So that might have been why I think Mateo might have seen that EJJ still had monkey flip online, so they wanted to just hit him out of it. But even so, EJJ has been going low time and time again. Punished for it sometimes, as of recently, not punished for it as much. I was expecting that to be the way the game ended, but no. Like you said, caught the jump, got the explosive flame, and now we are in an identical situation. St. John's last player, most likely Luca, has 4 stocks to take from Fisher College Spring, or Fisher College Spring is going to walk away with this with a 2-0.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty strong chance for Fisher College to end up changing the scoreline even further. Because again, as we talked about neutral game plan between Palutena and Greninja before, I think Palutena was playing a lot smarter up against EJJ this time around by playing the game a lot slower, instead of getting in there, making mistakes and getting herself punished more often. Even though it was actually a very scary situation to 1 stock, pretty much last stock, last hit between the 2 players, I think Mateo has a better sense of game plan and has a very strong chance of actually taking a stock off of Luca, which then puts Sauce at an even bigger advantage. Because honestly, there's already a natural advantage with the way the matchup plays, and having it 3 stocks to 2 in Sauce's favor over Luca is damning. It's destructive. There's really not a whole lot else that Luca can do to clean this up. It's everything or nothing for Luca right now, and it's not looking super good.
Yep. Now this was a fast game when last we saw it. Luca coming in hot here. And Luca has played exclusively in the past. Can they get it here? I don't expect we'll be seeing this end the same way it did last time. Mateo looks so cleaned up from when we saw them in game 1. So warmed up, so ready. Yet an instant tech chase situation on ledge. 2 whiff punishes in a row. Luca is playing evasive.
Right. If there's one thing that Greninja will struggle a little bit less here, it's the combo potential that he's going to have on Palutena being a bigger character compared to Mario. But even despite that, still have to win those neutral interactions. And in general, Greninja has that kind of combo inconsistency that's very DI heavy. Makes it really hard to get a lot of damage going. We got a dash attack up there. Doesn't quite get the second up for landing Nair into fair, though. Wow, and catching with a second fair. Just drifts back to space. No buttons pressed here. For Mateo, it really feels like maybe Mateo is playing a little too passively and kind of let Luca run all over them. And ultimately, we are going to stick to the script and have all 3 stocks on Luca approaching up against all 3 stocks of Sauce. I am kind of surprised by the way that played out. I was thinking of the defensive play style as a boon, as a benefit to way to approach this matchup, but it's almost like horseshoe theory where you go way too defensive and it ends up actually being a problem for you again. And that's exactly what we ended up seeing here. Too passive a game plan, not enough buttons being pressed to challenge Greninja, at least not in the right times, in the right places, and Greninja's going to run away with another victory.
Yeah, that was... I mean, Luca is just the executioner of Mateo right now. I feel a little bad. Mateo comes in, has two different very varying game plans, and Luca just is not having it either way. So now we are likely going to see a run back, and we talked about it to death a lot before. The fact that Sauce just destroys Greninja. Just Sauce destroys. You called it out best. A tall fast faller with no combo breaking tools. That's a Mario's dream right there.
Right there.
And we saw just so many extensions. And obviously there weren't any real 0 to deaths, but do you really need them when you're not, even when you finish your 0 to death, even when you finish it with an up B, you're still usually in advantage state. Like, even when Luca escapes a combo, they're still usually trying to get back to the ground. And so Sauce has time to pick up their sloppy seconds.
Yep. Whether it be falling up airs, whether it be challenging with the rising up air, or just going for an up tilt anti-air, hold shield, because Greninja's moves are also a bit of a commitment. You'll get a falling nair on shield. That's going to be a grand punish, whether it's going to be an up B out of shield or a grab into down throw chains. It's just, no matter what, it always seems like Mario has options to be playing next, moving next. It's never about recovering my own ground. It's how do I keep pushing my own ground forward, while Greninja's kind of on the back foot all the time, and only in those very tight critical moments of advantage states, Greninja has very strong burst potential. And we saw those come out too. That was how Luca was able to land both those stocks up against Sauce last time. But even then, losing neutral that many times repeatedly, it really just being in disadvantage almost the entire game, it's really not a good look, and it's super hard to play around. But there is faith in Luca. There is potential here. Those forward airs have been spicy, and they have been painful. And there's a good chance he's going to land at least a couple more. Land the right ones at the right percent, at the right place. Could be a stock. Never know what happens. Never know what happens.
Certainly don't. As I'm trying to think, where we saw Luca get that kill right there was on the recovery, on the slow drift in. It's tough to do that with Mario, though. Like, the fact that Mario, like, Greninja doesn't have any lingering disjointed hitboxes. Greninja doesn't have anything, like, Greninja's hitboxes are oftentimes pretty precise. The one tool I think that could be disruptive to Mario's recovery that we don't really see a lot from Luca is that back air. Dropping down with that multi-hit back air will probably gimp a Mario at most percents, but trying to do that is a whole different story.
Yep. And honestly, this matchup kind of goes beyond just the Mario and Greninja matchup. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but I do think it's funny to bring up that it seems that Luca had Sauce blocked from Elite Smash before. And Sauce is now able to get the run back, it seems, and is able to walk away with that victory. So I can imagine, again, we saw Luca's game being honestly pretty solid here up against Mateo, filled with bloodthirst and rage to just put Sauce down and take this game 2 for the team. I can very much see Luca being kind of amped up and ready to take down. And there's a revenge factor from last game, and there's a revenge factor that goes far long beyond it before that. When you factor in Elite Smash, I think we could be potentially seeing a different game here. The script may be broken with this final game in the second, or rather this final match in the second game of Fisher College versus St. John's.
All right, so we are going to we're not going to break, but we're going to have a little bit of a delay for the time being as we're trying to figure this out. It may have been misinformation, the whole blocking situation, which is what I'm reading right now. But regardless, apologies for that. It was very funny in our defense. But
that is true.
It looks like it is going to be 100% confirmed Sauce versus Luca. And to me, what that says, more than anything is these teams came here with a plan. Both of them. Like, there's no like it's not like people are like sitting around being like, who wants to go in? Do you want to go in? I'm feeling good against Greninja right now. I'll go in. Like, there's none of that. There's no dilly-dallying. They are ready. They know what matchups they're going to be doing. They know what order they're going to be doing. And there's not really any switch-ups. There's the only really difference we've been seeing is difference in stages. And I don't really think that like, is unexpected. Like, that can vary based on the day.
Yeah. And that hasn't severely impacted the way these matches have been playing out either. So these little changes left and right, the kind of stock differential between Moxie and Lamamola, the waves, the ripples haven't amounted into too much yet, but their energy could mean something because we don't know how this last game is going to play out just quite yet. Last time it was pretty down-ish to the wire. We did have one stock on both players, but it was 0% on Sauce versus about 100%, 110 maybe on Luca. And maybe Luca can bring it in closer, or maybe this will be a bigger stomp for Sauce. Both of those are, in the cards. I would be pretty surprised. Well, I would be interested if it turns out that we do end up seeing a repeat of 1-0 victory yet again from Fisher College. But I think even if that does happen, St. John's can walk away saying we are so much closer to trying to take down the Kings at Fisher College than we were before. There's a lot of growth seen, a lot of potential, a lot of things to learn from here too in this set, these matchups, the way players should approach play styles, adapt to play styles, deal with certain characters. There's so much knowledge. So it's a whole like gold mine, honestly, you could find just in this VOD right here. So if you guys are watching this in the future, I hope you guys do find this helpful beyond just right now. I do hope they can find out their technical difficulties and whatnot.
Yeah, so they do have a workaround that's coming in, and since we mentioned it, I do believe at this point Fisher College might have 3 rosters. I can't say that for certain. It's possible that it's still just a JV and varsity, but again, looking at their main roster, I mean, this is who I hyped up earlier as Fisher College is trying to beat. Nexus, Incredible Falco. I've seen run through entire teams. Jerry on the Ike, who is maybe one of the deadliest sortie players I've ever seen. Sock'em 16 is new and I believe is on the JV roster, but then Tony Pajamas. Up from Tri-State, but we don't even have to talk about Tony right now because finally, at long last, the delays are over. What could very well be the last match of the night, Sauce versus Luca, if Luca does not win, is about to take place.
Yeah, here we are going right back to the homie and classic PS2. Very comfortable. I'm sure both characters don't really mind. Triplats are not going to be on the table since we're dealing with Mario. Nonetheless, we've returned to neutral. Wow, the first hit I was not expecting to be a random thrown out anti-air up smash, but here we are, able to confirm off of back air as well. I did actually want to talk about the way Sauce uses the kind of fireballs to stuff out moves in reaction to seeing their start up, or kind of in reaction to certain positioning of Luca and expecting a move to come out. Instead of being a more standard kind of jump in and fireball type of game plan, it's
there you go.
Let me wait and let me use it every now and then. Let me use it occasionally. Let me see you react to starting up a smash attack. Wow, what a read on that positioning. Just walk a little bit forward, get past that dash attack, and forward smash. That is one stock down, but this is Mario getting gimped right now. We have an air dodge. Is the up B gonna make it? No! Woo! Explosive kills either way. 0% to 0%, 2 stocks to 2 stocks. This is a battle for the ages.
Playing very carefully around these down tilts right now. I mean, both of them. A single down tilt could be huge damage, but parries that landing there. Knows Luca is thirsting for damage and does not. Parries the forward air too. Sauce is not letting Luca get away with anything. And at this point, one straight up air near platform will be death.
This is insane amounts of confidence being exuded right now from Sauce, but Luca doesn't seem to be too hazed or phased by it. You just kind of keep running with the game plan. Yeah, my dash attacks aren't confirming into my up airs. That's fine. At least I'm still hitting dash attacks. That's better than nothing. Maybe throw out a water shuriken or 2. Try to play this neutral. Try to land a grab. The Greninja grab being a little slow. Having a bit more range, but not something that's made up by its speed. It's tough here. No proper punish on that dash attack this time. We had a Rising Dare instead. Ooh, that landing fair right at perfect spacing. We've seen Mario get clipped by a couple times, but finally, when it counts, the down tilt into tipper up smash does actually connect. And now Luca is building a lead for himself, and this is where Sauce is going to get a little antsy. We're going to be seeing those up smashes thrown out. Want to confirm that kill. Wow, the final hit of a Rising Dare is going to take it, and now we're back to pretty much even. Low percent, last stock. This is much closer than last time. Can Luca change his fate, or are we going to see a repeat mirror? It's all in his hands right now.
I like that, forcing Luca into a landing situation again, but right now, Luca is starting to run away with this. Sauce needs a big combo, they need it now, but up throw bear does not connect. They are at 3%, not 0%. Jab out of parry doesn't work either. The parry doesn't even keep Sauce safe because of the cross-up. Right now, Luca's movement is getting them this huge advantage.
Okay, this is time for Sauce to finally have advantage. Luca is going to find his way out. Luca hasn't been in disadvantage as long as you think he should be, especially kind of for most of this last stock. It's just been a lot of stray hits, but never falling into the Mario chains, into the Mario traps. Just so much slippery. There's the dash attack into up here. He's been slipping left and right, trying to catch an up tilt there. Parry the forward air, still not able to get a punish afterwards. Looks like Sauce is struggling a little bit, slowing down his own game plan to hopefully land more damage. There is the, there's a down tilt, tries to read the air dodge. Gets a back here for some shield damage. We're really dead even right now. Lead here for Sauce. Oh, this is so scary towards ledge. There is a hard commit to forward smash back and forth. This is a jab reset into a finisher with a forward smash of his own. Luca got way too antsy, way too scared. Wanted to forward smash one way, forward smash the other way. That's two very hard committal options in neutral, both directions. Oh no, that was it. In those couple split seconds, consciously or not, Sauce knew Luca had lost. Lost his mental, lost his fortitude. He got impatient. He got very greedy. And Sauce was, let me go for the jab reset. I got it. This is mine. It's over. And it was over. Fisher College takes it 2-0 over St. John's. Wow, what a game. What a game.
There's a large stretch of time right there where Sauce was only getting stray hits in the middle of Luca's advantage state, but those stray hits were very impactful. I mean, the random back air to push Luca all the way to the other side of the stage, and even though Luca kept up the pressure, it was then on them to reinitiate that engagement. They were back in neutral for the first time in a while. That stray back air, huge stuff. So, again, if St. John's eventually wants to take down the main Fisher roster, it's going to be a little bit of time, because right now, Fisher Spring is still looking like one of the stronger teams we have here in the ECAC, and they're not even the main Titans. I mean, the fact that they have top 200 players NA on their B team, on their spring team, Fisher College is a different beast altogether, and they demonstrated that once again tonight. Amazing stuff from St. John's, keeping them at last stock every single time. But, yeah. Now, we do have an interview on the horizon with Sauce, and that's going to be very interesting to hear from them. But before that, we're going to go to a very quick break. So, everyone hold your horses. We will be going into that soon enough. But until then, stay tuned.
Understand exactly what we're doing with our regional events and culminating in CECC and getting more schools involved. I think schools will be more excited to compete in our events because we've established it over the course of a year, and I welcome any and all conversations with getting people involved.
I think for me, I'm most excited about like the schools and conferences. Mike, that's amazing, and that's so exciting. I'm also excited about the brands that we're starting to be able to get involved in this. In our Commissioner's Cup in last May, we had over 14 brands, blue chip brands, participating in our event. Barbasol, Microsoft, CDW, Morgan Stanley, New Street, Air Force. And so I think brands are really starting to get excited about being involved in college esports, and we're offering them a platform that not only gives them, a big event, a big yearly event, but also regular daily programming where they can have exposure in front of this audience that they want to build affinity for with their brand. So I'm super excited about seeing the brands get on board and help grow the space along with us. A rising tide lifts all boats. And I think that's probably one of our mottos here at CSMG and Esports U. We're growing our brand, but at the same time, we're also really growing the college esports space as a whole. And that's our goal, for it to be a healthy ecosystem for all parties involved.
Yeah, I agree there. And I guess for me, obviously always, seeing the collegiate esports space elevate, coming from competing, this didn't exist when I was competing, and just to see it now in literally within the last 5 years, probably really come to fruition and start just blossomed out of nowhere, and now becoming a space and seeing everyone, schools, players, productions, companies all elevate together has been really, really nice to see. But if I was the most excited for one thing, it would probably be the city where we're going to land for CC23. I'm really excited to know where we're going to be. There's a lot of great cities. I mean, I personally would love for it to come to New York, despite whether we got a positive bid or not. I want it to come to New York, but I just think the atmosphere in New York when you throw an event here is just super magical, especially in the summertime. But either way, I'm really excited to see where it lands. Tons of great cities, tons of great opportunities, and yeah, who knows? And I think that's going to be the most exciting process for me.
Absolutely. I won't speak to anything. I think I'm filling Paulie's job on this one because Paulie's more a panelist than this one. So, normally Paulie's the host, and I don't know. I think me personally, I'll just say something real quick. I'm just excited to keep telling your stories. If you're a student, if you're a program, let me know. Let us, reach out to us. We just ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to tell your story, and I think that's what has me most excited, because now I think we're getting to a point where people know us. I hope you guys trust us, and and we just want to keep expanding and growing the space. So with that, Paulie, I won't make you do the weird thing where you got to toss to yourself, unless you want to do that. I don't know. Actually, you might have a way of doing this. Let's test it. Yeah. Okay.
Right,
how do you want to throw yourself here?
Well, that's going to conclude here the future of collegiate with CSMG and Esports U. Thank you so much to Angela, Mike Blewett, and Kyler Tandle for hosting our panel. And now back to myself for the day 3 of the CSMG Coaches and Director Summit 2022.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct tight angles make it tough. You have Axeris that actually gets a wallbang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. A lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're going to spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, sledge option going to be charging for Smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit, and Pin getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That clock has been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy! Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly! You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omens folks coming out. 1, oh, Spec just finds 3.
What?
Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad. And, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in a passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in an epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey.
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money.
Right.
Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed.
Right.
Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to ECAC. We're here in the aftermath of Fisher College Spring versus St. John's, where we have Fisher College Spring's Sauce here with us. Sauce, how you doing after that win?
I'm doing pretty good.
There we got him. Awesome. Yeah, congratulations on your win. Just gotta, we'll start off with the way kind of matches played out in team compositions and what player was up against what player. So you had to play against Lucas Greninja twice in a row, and Miles and I had our own kind of hypothesis about how this matchup is supposed to play out and how we feel what character's confident versus what. But what are your thoughts on the Mario Greninja matchup? How are you feeling going into that matchup? Not once, but twice.
Yeah. So we were just, I think definitely the first time through it was just we were playing, and then the second time through we were just like, all right, we won this way, so let's keep it going. My thoughts personally on the Mario and Greninja matchup. I'm from Philly, and we used to have Juice, who played like 3 different characters, but he was like really dominant in our scene, and he played Greninja. And I started figuring him out with Mario, and I feel like you can just kind of bait him in and like punish him when he touches your shield. And Greninja doesn't have a lot of out of shield options, so you can really take advantage of that.
Well, that makes sense. Ooh, so how are you guys feeling about the season so far? I mean, Fisher College is it's a legendary name of its own, but are there any big threats, any teams you're kind of looking out for? Or are you guys more like, let's just play our hearts out and see where we can go?
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the collegiate scene, so I'm kind of just going for the ride. Like, I'm just trying to play my best every week. It doesn't matter what team I'm playing against. I just want to go out there and give it 110%. So.
Has there been anything notable about your joining Fisher? I know, like you said, it's your first season here, right?
Yes.
Has there been like any notable change, like anything different from what you expected? Anything cool? Any cool opportunities?
I mean, they definitely allow me to go to locals more, get like a lot of more practice. They tend to try to help me out to get to events. So I'm traveling more, and I'm getting help going to more events in general.
All right. Out of left field question. I see you're wearing a wrestling shirt. Are you a wrestler?
I was a wrestler. Funny enough, this was my brother's old shirt. I only wrestled for a couple years, but he was the good wrestler in the family. I was more of a baseball and golf player.
Are there any similarities between Smash and wrestling?
You could probably make a couple. There's definitely ways, and like I think both are like mental games at the end of the day, but it's also like a lot of physical training and like understanding like how things work about the game.
Yeah, like you're not going to get anywhere with that mentality if you don't have the physical ability to do it. But then once you have that physical ability, it's all about the mental, right?
Right, yeah.
It's all about the neutral game.
That's the end of my question.
It's the neutral. Real life or in the game. It's all about the neutral. It's all about the punish. Honestly, you can extend this to a lot more than just like physical sports too, but that's a whole different discussion about fighting game mentality. And oh man, I go on that all the time. It's great. Fighting games are great. They make you a better person if you do it right. But anyway, before we wrap things up, is there anyone you want to give a special shout out to, Sauce?
Yeah, so I got a lot of friends back at home who tend to watch me. I have my girlfriend watching. I shout out a family member who watched me a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I got the link out to them, but I'll send it to them so they know that they're appreciated. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on with us, Sauce. Congratulations on your win once again. We'll hope to see you back on stream very soon. Until next time, you take care. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to be wrapping up. Thank you all so much for watching the ECAC tonight. If you want more, 8 p.m. every night of the week. There are different esports all the time, all running through Esports U. All building up to some amazing championships, so be sure to check that out. But for now, that's all for Smash Brothers. I have been Keela Miles. This has been Combo. I hope you all have a wonderful night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ECAC Plays of the Week. And it's not just any week this time, it is the playoffs. We've got 8 incredible clips, and I'm super excited to jump into them. My name's Septilence. I hope you're ready to hop into the ride, because it's going to be a great one. When I found out this was clip number 8 of the playoffs highlight reel, I was flabbergasted because this is an incredible moment from Swift on the side of RPI. It's not just 1 or 2 elims to win the round and put RPI in a better position. It's all 5 coming from a single player. Take a look.
They hit him with the judge, operator in hand. Swift is trying to be able to find some value to it. The headhunter does a number on him. They're able to get a 4K. They're going to be able to get this plan down. Dakota's going to try and find him. Do they go into the tank? Yes, they do. Oh, they come out. That's the ace for Swift. They're able to make it happen all themselves, and they will get this one for free for RPI.
Clip number 7 tells a pretty amazing story as well. Ball State already up 2 games in a best-of-7 series, and they find themselves tied 2-2, less than a minute left on the clock. Perhaps a little bit more pressure than they'd want there in game number 3, but it's Daffy from Ball State that takes all the pressure and immediately relieves it from the team.
Find it back, pass to Daffy, bar down and in. Ball State will not be denied a game.
Crossbar has been doing a heck of a job here for Hartford, keeping the ball out of the net, but it only lasts for so long as Daffy's able to get...
Playoffs call for one thing: unconventional plays and crazy moments. And I knew this was going to be a crazy moment when the clip started with me looking at the casters. This stock comes through so fast from Northwood that we couldn't even get just the gameplay in the clip. It wouldn't be long enough. It is an incredible moment from SGP, and it just goes to show how good Northwood continues to be.
Seconds into the match, and SGP's got a spike, a 0 to death at that.
Brother, that was literally 1 down here. After Fireball, bro, please. Oh, and now we're playing this dangerous game at the ledge.
For clip number 5, we're jumping into one of my favorite games, and we get the chance to see one of my favorite ultimate combinations in the game right now. The Roadhog ultimate and the Kitsune Rush from Kiriko, so unbelievably strong, and it really helps Newberry kind of snap back in a moment where they were struggling to gain their footing once again.
To deal with that Nano Blade, you really just have to get around the protection Suzu and the Sleep Dart.
Well, there's the whole hog, there's the Kitsune Rush, and there goes the lives of Alfred State. Depressus is going to find a third. That's going to be a team kill. Kitsune Rush plus whole hog, overpowered, I swear.
Clip number 4, not quite on the podium, but still very, very impressive. Emery and Henry versus St. Lawrence going head-to-head. Both teams, 2 players left, but Hispanerd wants to clean up their opponents as quick as humanly possible, and quick they certainly were.
Over yet.
Yeah, little in fact, PhD actually stands for pretty heavy dude, because Dr. Mario might as well be a heavy. With how he hits and how hard he can beat a kill sometimes. The fact that he has Mario's hitboxes, his get off move tools, and these kill confirms at ledge, like I said, throw confirms.
At the beginning of this video, I talked about the individual presence a single player can have to make or break success for their team. Keller from Fisher College proves that point in its entirety by dropping a 4K against Ball State University and removing any iota of wind from their sails on Kings Row.
They could potentially use, be able to make something happen here. Now Ravenstrider is going to use the Kitsune Keller! 2 kills inside of the, oh my word, inside of the Dragons, and now they're looking for a 4K.
For our silver medal spot, our second clip here in the highlights of the playoffs is going to go to none other than Lackawanna. They have peppered themselves in these highlight reels week after week, and when they entered this upper bracket round 1, they immediately wanted to send the message they were there to win.
That's a big reason why Barton shouldn't be feeling too hard done by if they lose this series. That's a beautiful play.
And our number 1 gold medal clip of the ECAC playoff highlights is a beautiful moment from Hybrid, one that left my jaw on the floor. Let's see if the same goes for you.
For the team, it means a lot, right? Hybrid lurking in front, annihilates Forgiving, yeah!
Blows up that entire push.
And as much as I hate to say it, folks, this is the final ECAC top plays of the week here for the fall split. It's a sad moment, and I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to sit through this with you week after week and really highlight these individual players, because as great as the team play can be, it's awesome to see these moments where one person can make or break such an incredible moment for their team. I have been Septilence, you have been wonderful, and